Hi-oh! What is going on, our friends on the internet? Welcome to the Brain Drain, hosted capably, or that's, of course, a matter of opinion, but I think capably by myself. I am Jay Tate. I am publisher of AuburnSports.com, and it is July 4th. I know you may be thinking to yourself, and maybe if you're watching this on a replay, because if you're in the chat, like some of our superstars like Pocket Watch, AU Pooch, Canoe Man, Doc29 in the house today, AU Taxman, you may be like, hey, JG, why are you doing this on the 4th? Why aren't you out partying? Because I like partying here with y'all. So there you go. I have behind me, well, I was hoping I would be able to make an announcement that I was doing the show tonight on my brand new computer. You know, I've been talking about it for like months about getting a new computer, and I got it, and it's here, and I just wasn't able to get, oh, dang, that was close. Wasn't able to get all the information off this computer onto that one so we could do the show on that one. So, going to need a couple days on that one. So, we're going to continue to use the laptop. And I have the new one behind me here, and I'm watching the WAR Tampa House of Pain game. So, yes, Ed D says it's Saturday night, and it's time for the brain drain. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great 4th. My plan tonight was going to be to drink this white dog, this Buffalo Trace white dog. So this is basically 125 proof stuff that they would put into barrels and age for a long time. This is the unaged version of that. I was really hoping to drink some of this. Our man Leif B, who you guys know from the chat, a lot of times, I'm sure he'll be here too tonight. Anyway, he hooked me up with this. I was really hoping to drink it, but I can't open it. I mean, I can, but I was trying to do it up here, and I'm just going to – you need a knife, and I don't have one here. So I'm going to have to probably skip that one for now, and maybe we'll drink that next week. And I've got the Legent, which I have not drank on stream since basketball season, I don't think, which is good because they're playing basketball tonight. Legent is it's a product of Jim Beam working with Suntory, which is I think owns Jim Beam now, a Japanese distillery, and they kind of worked on this together. Fred No, who is the master distiller for Jim Beam, and a dude from Japan who's their master distiller, kind of worked on this together. You can definitely taste it. It definitely has some Beam characteristics to it in that it's kind of nutty. But I don't know if this is it's. I've seen it on the ABC manifests. I mean, ABC carries it sometimes. I don't think I've ever seen it in an ABC. I bought this one in Lexington, and when you're in Kentucky, it's just kind of like a regular bourbon. Like you go to Liquor Barn and they've got it every day, and it's like $30 a bottle. Glad to get that first one down. So I am drinking Legent tonight. What are you guys drinking tonight? Raven in the house. Oh, looky there. Thank you, administrative assistant. What do you think about that sweet computer that's being used as a TV now? I ended up getting a. Yeah, well, just tonight we're going to use it as a TV. Question earlier about are we going to do G Pits tomorrow? Usually we do G Pits on Monday now, but absolutely the goal is to have 3 video streams. Oh, well, hold on, it's only going to be 2 this week because Neil's on vacation. Thank you. Now we've got the white dog opened. Thank you, administrative assistant. You're the best. Get that turd out of here. Hey.
Let's go.
Out, dickhead. Thank you. So what I got was I got a Apple, because I'm an Apple guy, iMac Pro. And so it's a 27-inch all-in-one, and it's got i9. Well, actually, it's got Intel Xenon W chip, 8 cores, 32 gigs of RAM, and a 1 terabyte SSD. So it is all I need and more. It's basically a video workstation. I'm very stoked to have been able to get my hands on that. And not going to lie, you guys are a big part of that. Those of you who have super chatted through the year, and supported the show, watched the show, all that stuff. Thank you very much for your support, and that's what we did with it. We upgraded on the computer front, and we're going to make as we get back into sports and whatnot, we're going to use that to very good effect. I'm starting to sound like President Trump, aren't I? Very, very good. Very great effect. I'm watching the game behind here, the WAR Tampa House of Pain game, and the House of Pain has, where I am, they're up 14-5, and there's a turnover. So kind of a slow start for WAR Tampa, and I don't even know how to, handicap this game. I mean, House of Pain. I mean, the Illinois guys, I guess, and the Auburn. Well, 3 out of 9 Auburn guys. I saw LaRon is not playing. Said he was having to do daddy duty. I don't know what that was all about. Leif B in the hizzle. Leif, check it out, bro. Got the white dog. Thank you very much, sir. You're the man. So anyway, happy 4th of July to you, Leif, up there in Davis County, Kentucky. William Taylor in the house. Happy 4th, Jay. Happy 4th to you, my man. Thank you for being part of the show. And I hope you stick around. David the Wizard's in the house. Glad to see you, David. I sent you a direct message a couple weeks ago checking out on you, making sure you were good. And you said you were, so that's all good. Spider Chaw in the house says, what up, JG? How are you? I'm good. I'm glad to have you here on the show. And it's the 4th of July. I'm chilling at the house here at headquarters in Montgomery, Alabama. I had a little America dinner earlier, a hot dog with, of course, the only thing you can put on a hot dog, mustard. If you guys put ketchup on your hot dogs, I'm not hearing it. I hope that you keep that to yourself because that's something that you shouldn't talk about in public. Yeah. So I had mustard, and we had some corn, some Silver Queen corn, purchased at Sweet Creek Farms here in Montgomery, and a little bit of mac and cheese. No beer for me, which is unusual, but we are going to have some bourbon, some American bourbon. Delicious. David the Wizard says, everything lit. I was wondering, David, how things are going on your long play. I don't want to get into any names. I don't want to, ruin anything or just saying if the long play was working. Cleveland Brown, one of our all-time chatters, always here with us on the show, says, what up, JG? Appreciate you, bro, for being part of the show. You've been on a long, long time, so we thank you very much for that. AU Pooch says, yes, mustard only. I'm glad to see you're right. Glad that you're correct on that. I feel like mustard is the only thing on a hot dog. I'm not trying to be sexist, but I mean, if a girl wants to put ketchup on there, that's fine. I mean, I'm all for female empowerment, so if they want to do that, but I think for guys, I think we should be using only mustard. Ketchup is, I think we as a society we rely on ketchup too much. Yeah, people put ketchup on too much stuff. Raven says you can't get more American than bourbon. Damn right. They do make it in some other parts of the world, but nobody does it better than America. I mean, that's one thing. You can't say that about beer, I don't think. I mean, we can sit there and say, yeah, Budweiser's really good. And I mean, I like a Michelob Ultra as much as the next guy, but I mean, I feel like the Germans and the Belgians, they do some work when it comes to beer. And you got to give the Scottish, you got to give them some ups too. They do some good liquor too. Let's see. AU Taxman, we're still talking about hot dogs. Says chili and onions are the only other acceptable options. I will absolutely agree to that. Chili dog's not really my scene, but that seems fine to me. Onions, that sounds delicious. Though at Auburn, back in the day when you could put the stuff on your hot dogs, I would always do mustard and onions. I know that didn't help with my breath very much, but I always have some Trident around. In fact, I have some right now. So it'll be all right. Ed Darby says, ranch dressing too on a hot dog? Dude, no. No. Somebody told you wrong. Somebody steered you down the wrong path, bro. No, that's not acceptable. I'm not as anti-ranch as some people are, but that's just too much. We went out to dinner last night, my mom and my daughter and I. My wife wasn't feeling well. And my mom went to a nice restaurant here in town, and she got a filet, which is a great choice. and it was a really nice looking fillet. I know they do good fillets there because I've had it. It's at the pub, Charles Anthony's Pub, and the first thing my mom asked for was Heinz 57. And it's just like chalkboard, fingers on the chalkboard, man. Like if you're at Golden Corral, which you're not going to be because it's not open right now, but if you were and you want to put some Heinz 57 on that rawhide that they're serving, hey, man, you do what you got to do to get it down. However, when you're at a good place that serves quality meat and they've marinated it and they've cooked it correctly, like I don't see that. I don't see the need for Heinz 57. And if I was the chef, I would be upset. I'd be like, yo, this isn't Golden Corral. Whatever. That's my mom. She can't go wrong. A Taxman says, how about them Chris's hot dogs? I haven't had those in a minute. Now, when I used to work at the advertiser and we had to work downtown in the older location, it was 2 blocks. Yeah, it was 2 blocks from Chris's. 1 block from Mama's. And, yeah, you kind of comes with, like chili. I guess you would call that. Well, they would call it special sauce, I guess, right? But it's kind of like hot sauce. And that's completely fine. It's like WAR Tampa's climbing back into this one, although my wife's watched a lot of basketball in her life, and she always hates it when you're watching a game and the first thing they say, like somebody scores a bucket right off the bat, they take their first lead at 2-0. And my wife's always like, no shit. They're going to score lots of buckets today, bro. Power Man himself is here. Says, hi, guys. Hello, Power Man. And any Power Man Juniors that may be watching as well. We're glad to have you guys. Hope you guys are having a great 4th. I know you are because your dad is the kind of guy that would make sure that you guys are having fun on the 4th because that's what we're meant to do as Americans. We're celebrating fun. We're also celebrating independence, but fun too. And beer if you're old enough. And delicious food. Canoe Man says they have filet at Chris's Hot Dogs. Yes, that's what we call it when you go to Chris's. It's a filet-o whatever it is. Not your standard filet. Stu Pup 74, one of the all-time greats, says 2 mustard lines on both sides and 1 line of ketchup on the dog in the bun. Well, it's a good start. I don't know if it was a great finish. D. Stutz says the varsity only puts mustard, and they are obviously the gold standard when it comes to hot dogs. I'm glad the varsity is on board with that. I've eaten there twice, and I can't say that I remember. Yeah, I mean, I remember it being good, but I don't know. This wasn't a place that blew me away. Let's see. Canoe Man says there's a Willet on WAR Tampa keeping my eye out for Buffalo Trace. I didn't know they had a Willet. That's pretty cool. Uh-oh. Lazy turnover in the backcourt, and House of Pain dunks it. So it's 19-14 through the first quarter. Not too bad, considering how slowly they started. Not a big deal. It's a long game. There's a lot going on. First time I met Christy, I mean, she wasn't interested in going out with me, but you keep digging, keep chopping wood. Oh, AU Taxman says drinking 1792 full proof tonight. I had some of that 2 nights ago because administrative assistant was off work Friday because it was a holiday, and so we decided we were going to get tore up Thursday night, and we drank the 1792 full proof. It does me right, dude. That is a delicious bourbon, reasonably priced, hits hard, doesn't leave you hanging. I like it. I put it on my list the other night of the my favorite bourbons that I've had at least 3 bottles of. And some people contacted me letting me know that I had left XIZ off the list. But remember, I said I had to have 3 bottles of it. I think people were a little surprised that I did not include Weller. But I've only had, I had the full handle. You guys remember that. I had the full handle of the green. I had 1/5 of the red, which we cashed out at Thanksgiving. And so those, I just don't feel like I've had enough. I don't feel like I've had enough to judge it. But it's pretty damn good. It's like the quintessential weeded beer, I would say. Let's see if I can, on the bunker here, pull up my my list. Oh, yeah, here's the list. So I put this on the bunker the other day. This is just me talking, right? Again, these are bourbons or whiskeys that I've had 3 bottles of, okay? Joseph A. Magnus, number 1. You guys know that I talk about it all the time. I don't have it up here with me, but I always have a bottle of Joseph A. Magnus. That is actually distilled in Washington, D.C., based on a whiskey that was produced in Indiana. So there's really no Kentucky match there. But whatever. Eagle Rare 10-year, just your standard Eagle Rare, I think is the best bourbon for the value anywhere in the world. It is my second favorite bourbon overall. I like it more than Blanton's, and some people consider that a sacrilege, but I really, really like it. Don't you turn off on me, bro. There we go. Russell's Reserve in the 3rd spot. I actually saw that at the ABC last night. I didn't buy it because it's a little expensive and didn't feel like I needed it, but it's delicious. That's actually a wild turkey made in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, just outside of Lexington. Blanton's in the 4th spot. Obviously a really, really good bourbon. Love it. McKenna, small batch, 10-year. It's like green. It looks like money on the bottle. Delicious. My man J-Dub bought me that the first time for my birthday a couple years ago, and I was blown away, and I've bought 2 or 3 bottles since then. Really like it. Buffalo Trace, which some people herald as like their favorite bourbon, which is cool. To me, that's more of a, it's an inside fastball. It's not your out pitch. It's good, solid bourbon. Really like it. Maker's Mark Gold, which they don't make anymore. I drank that a lot in my 20s. It's kind of like a higher proof Maker's Mark, but despite being higher proof, it was not as harsh. They have stuff called Maker's 46 now, which is not the same, but it's kind of sort of that direction. Willet Pot Still, I have that in the middle of my group. Knob Creek SB 12 year, which I think we were drinking last week. Elijah Craig, small batch, like your standard Elijah Craig. Excellent, excellent value for bourbon. I would say that's probably number 3 on my value bourbon list. Behind Eagle Rare, assuming you can find it, or Evan Williams Single Barrel, which is delicious at about 20. Sometimes you can find that at $19 a bottle. It's usually more like 25. 1792, just your standard stuff. Old Soul, which I have over here. They've actually dropped. I noticed that on ABC they've dropped the price of this. So this used to be $55 a bottle, which I thought was kind of high. I saw it yesterday for $40. So, I think it's moving up a little bit. As the price goes down, it moves up in my list because it's a little nutty, but it's good. Evan Williams, small batch. No, single barrel. $25 to $30 is what I said on here. Old Grandad 114, Maker's Mark Red, and Old Bardstown Bottled and Bond, which is actually really good. You can almost always find that in the 17 to 22 range, and it's delicious. Great mixer bourbon, and you can also drink it straight in a pinch. Great for the value. Anyway, that's what I'm saying right there. Rabbit says, anyone finding Henry McKenna on the reg? No, I saw it at our East Chase location in Montgomery a week ago Thursday. They had just gotten a big old allotment. They had all kinds of shit over there. Somebody walked out of there with that old Fitzgerald. Is it like the green and red one? That's like in the long. I'd like to get my hands on that. I bet some of y'all have had that. Delicious. Canoe Man's with me on the Eagle Rare being the best value. I knew you were a smart guy. D Stutz says, absolutely agree on Eagle Rare. It's the best I've ever had, and that's reasonably priced. Okay, gotcha. Buffalo Trace ain't bad either, for one. That's always available in the Atlanta area. It's not always available in the Montgomery area, unfortunately, but you don't live in Montgomery, so you don't have to worry about it. Buffalo Trace is really good. I mean, if Buffalo Trace was always available to me at $35 a bottle, I'd probably hit that a lot. Here, it's like harder to find, and then when you find it, they kind of pull the old, it's a little higher. There's a store in town, I don't want to say what it is, but they sell Willet pot stills for $100. I mean, geez, dude, I can buy a handle for $100 in Kentucky. And here you are trying to do that for a fifth. I'm just going to have to go without. Georgia Rebel says, what up, JG? What's up, man? Glad to have you back on the show, brother. One of our friends from Rebel Groves over there with Neil McGreefy and Chance the Yapper. Stoop Up says, the dude from South Dakota is killing WAR Tampa. Yeah, I saw him. I was like, it said, play it in South Dakota. I was like, holy shit. Look at that little one, too. They would call that a pick and roll roller in the in the basketball world. Pick and roll roller. Something that Anthony McLemore has done a lot of. Chuma used to do a bunch of that play right there. Kind of hard to defend if you don't know what's coming. That was a nice little dish right there. All right, so it's now, 27-16? With a free throw to go. House of Pain still well ahead. I may be way behind, too. I'm watching it on ESPN.com, so I don't have a live feed here. Let's see. Canoeman says you can buy the handle of Will at Pot Still for $70 in Kentucky. Okay. That'd be cool. I mean, I was at the distillery. I was drinking at the distillery, so I don't remember exactly. But, when I went to the Will Distillery, they had in their gift shop just, they had 40 fifths and they had 40 half, handles. I was like, wow. I'm happy to see this. Very happy to see it. Uh-huh. Let's see. Stoop Up says, my head will explode if New England, the new home for Cam Newton, runs the 2-quarterback double pass where Stidham throws it to Cam and Cam hits the post to Wee Willie in an NFL game. Wee Willie. I'm pretty fired up about Cam going to the Patriots. I'm not a Patriots fan per se, but you got to respect him. And I always feel like you guys feel the same way, that Belichick, he knows what he's doing personnel-wise. Most of the guys that he gets end up at least performing above expectation to some degree. Love the cats in the house. Sup, beaches? What up, man? I'm going to turn one up for you, Hornatius. Glad to have you back on the show. I think you're here every single week, and we're glad to have you, bro. Even though you love to shit on our boy, Jeffrey Lee, who was an outstanding baseball player back in the day. I don't know why you got to hate. To Hornatius, my man. Tasty. Benjamin says facts. I don't know which thing is facts, but that sounds good. Canoeman says it's cheaper at Kroger than at the Will at gift shop. That's sad, isn't it? Because goobers like me show up at the thrift shop or at the gift shop and we're like, whoa, we got Will it. And they're like, hey, go ahead and bump that up $15 for those dipshits. Benjamin says, do you guys think Bo Nix will win a Heisman in the next year or two? That's a good question. I'm going to say no because it's extremely hard to win a Heisman. Particularly if you're not a runner and a passer. Although Trevor Lawrence he's pretty damn good. He's gotten pretty close, hasn't he? He didn't really run that much. I think Chad Morris is the guy to unlock the potential. That's for sure. And I think Bo is quite a competitor. We're just going to have to see if Chad can put together those kinds of, if he can spark the offense that much, Because it gets a little, I feel like it's a little outdated under that was not a good shot. A little outdated under Malzahn, and he wasn't kind of adding to it, and I think Chad will. But is that going to be enough to make Bo Nix a Heisman front runner? I don't know, man. That's a long way to go. Alpha Tiger in the house says, Swoogans. My man, Alpha Tiger. I'm sorry I had to delete you twice this week. You posted some memes that I thought were a little unsavory. Look at that. Alma mater, Auburn or Western, depending on what day it is. I like Deshaun. He's a nice person. Fields is in the mix. Indeed. He will, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty high on Bo Nix in general. But, man, when you start saying Heisman winner, I don't know, man. I've only covered one Heisman winner, and he was, like, otherworldly. And I don't think Bo is otherworldly, but he could be in time. He's a great competitor, and he's extremely bright on the field. He's a bright football player. He doesn't seem to make the same mistakes. And, I mean, this the improvement that we saw when he would get so panicked in the first 3 or 4 games, and he would escape the pocket laterally instead of stepping up. It was demonstrably a bad decision. He watched the film. He learned from it. And he didn't do much of that as the season wore on. He stepped up into the pocket. He would step up and look for receivers, continue to look for receivers, or he would exit straight up instead of going out. Very, very smart player who was making a lot of progress last year. Absolutely. Canoe Man says we're talking about the price of Willet. Has to do with the laws and the distribution. Willet actually has to buy it back from their distributor. How about that? I did not know that. Canoe Man reminds us that Amanda was not high on Knicks. No, she was not. I should say he was not. Although Amanda was on the horn of us once, wasn't she? I guess Mutter's wife she's down with the game, I guess. It was for you, those of you. I got the WAR Tampa game on behind me here, so I'm just checking in to see how they're doing. And I'm watching it on ESPN.com, so I might be a little bit behind. For those of you who are watching it on cable or satellite, it is currently, for me, 30-22. Who will start in New England, Jarrett Stidham or Cam Newton? And who do you think is better? Well, there is absolutely no doubt that Cam Newton's going to start that game unless he's hurt. That was the reason I think that Cam Newton didn't land somewhere more quickly, was because you don't go out and get Cam Newton unless you're going to start him. And a lot of teams feel like they've got their starters. There he is, Bryce. Just missed it. Have their starters set up, because it's kind of everything that football's about, right, at the professional level. You find a quarterback, develop a quarterback, because you got to have one to win. It's like the ticket, you know. So they definitely got Cam Newton in there to start. There's no doubt. And Cam Newton went there to start. And he's a much better player than Jarrett Stidham. I'm sure of it. I'm just sure of it. Deshaun Murray doing more work, Stu Pup says. There he is. Finishing at the rim. Looks pretty good. Wish they had Mustafa on that team. Is he still at St. John's? I wonder. By the way, where are they playing this game? Where's it being played? Because I don't know. I guess I should. Ed D, my man, who always has good, serious questions for me, says, "Yo, JG, in your opinion, where should Chad, I guess you mean coach, from during the games, the field or the booth? Why does Malzahn not coach on the sideline? You never see him talking to players on the bench." I do some. Sure I do. But not a lot, no. So I think Chad's going to coach from the upstairs. I think that's kind of where he would like to work. Although I haven't had a conversation with him about what he specifically wants to do next year. Columbus, Ohio. I should have known. I saw their practice floor, I guess. It had the Buckeyes on there. It was an Ohio State floor. So thank you for that, D Stutz and Power Man and Pocket Watch and Canoe Man. Benjamin 8 says, "Do you think John Reese Plumlee will be a threat to the SEC?" Now, I want to say that I like the kid, and I think it's awesome that Ole Miss took a flyer on him, and that I think he's going to pay out. I think he's going to be a player. But I don't think he's going to be like an awesome player. And in fact, I think he's probably a better baseball player than he's a football player. He's a tremendous athlete, though. And he's a really good leader. So he's a great guy to have. And Auburn tried like hell. They really, really, really wanted him at Auburn, and they were trying to sneak him through to be a preferred walk-on, because I don't necessarily think they definitely didn't think he sucked or anything. They just thought the chances of him reaching his peak potential to kind of be an all-SEC quarterback was lower than it would have been for Bo, right? And Bo's a really good player. So that's kind of what they were doing with John Rice. But I think that he's going to be a good player. I just don't think he's going to be an awesome player. I'm trying to think of some guys that he could be kind of like. I mean, I think of him as kind of like a Kellen Mond, kind of. Because Kellen Mond, to me, he's a pretty damn good athlete. I just think that he's a little, like, I don't know how you would say about Kellen Mond, because he's been disappointing to me. I thought he would be better than this. Gus was like, he was the number one guy on Gus's board that year. They were just selling out to get him, and they didn't get him. And he went to Texas A&M, and he's been kind of like, he's solid. He starts a lot, but, he doesn't really just plow you over or anything like that. So I don't know. To me, it's almost like he's just too analytical or something. Like, it just doesn't seem like he has that, let's make a great decision really quick on the fly. Like, it's just kind of like he's thinking too much. my opinion. Cleve C in the Hizzle says the game's in Columbus, Ohio. Been a long time. Good to be with you and everyone tonight. We're glad to have you, Cleve C. It has been a minute, and we missed you, but we will keep going on Saturday nights, even if you're not here, because we're going to be doing it for your spirit, bro. I know that wherever you might be, you're probably drinking bourbon in your mind and having a good time in your mind, and you love hanging out. That's why we love you. So this right here is to Cleve C, my man. Says he's celebrating his birthday today. It's almost buttery. Yeah, and to me, it's definitely nutty-ish. I'll go ahead and turn on the Skype in case somebody wants to call in. I had it off before now because I was just babbling on a July 4th, you know. Just kind of doing my thing. Where's my phone at? Guys, I've lost my phone. Oh, here it is. I found it. Let's see if Mr. Stop that. See if Mr. Jeffrey Lee, he is technically on vacation tonight. So if he is not available, that would be fine. Also, I want to let you guys know that we did have a chance to dine with Mr. Jazzy Joe on Tuesday. Unfortunately, Voodoo was closed that day. So we ended up going to another restaurant, which we did not want to do because we love Voodoo. We got to hang out with Jazzy Joe, and it was awesome. Jazzy Joe is from Mobile. Jazzy Joe is a trucker. Jazzy Joe has a totally badass rig that is like auburned out to the max. And he also likes guitars. We'll check with Jay Lee again. He's on vacation. So if he doesn't answer or if he's not able to jump on the show, that would not be surprising. But maybe he has a few minutes for us just to let us know how he's been doing up there. He's been doing some fishing in the streams of Cashers, North Carolina. What's the Rob D says, what's the over-under football finish? What's the over-under for football finishes this year? Does that mean if football, the season finishes, or how Auburn finishes? Or I don't know. We got to kind of see how this works out. I'm concerned. And I talked about it on the bunker a little bit. I just think that these university presidents are going to heed these scientists that are going to tell them that, guys, there's been a lot of positive tests. Our infection rate is up. We've got a shitload of people who are sick. Can't play football, bro. And then I'll be like, you're bad people. Hey, caller, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
What you doing, Jay?
Word, who I got on the horn? Oh, I know who this is.
Power Man.
It's Power Man. I bet you're having fun on the 4th, aren't you?
Yeah, we did. We've had a good time. It's me and the dog and Miss Power Man home now. The kids are going to fireworks with the grandparents, Power Men. But it's been a good day.
That's great to hear. Have you had a chance to consume any alcohol tonight, sir? Today, sir?
I've been judicious because I had this nose surgery this week, which has gone. It was pretty rough early in the week, but it's gotten better through the week. So had to sit in the shade all day. Yeah, I had a skin cancer taken off my nose.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's called a Mohs procedure where they basically dig out your skin and test it, and then dig out some more and test it again, and ultimately when they get to a clean tissue, they do a skin graft to cover it back up. So yeah, it's been a good week.
So it stung for like the first 3 or 4 days, maybe? What do you think?
The first night was, so it was done on Tuesday. Tuesday was miserable.
Yeah.
And then it got better through the week. So right now it's more of a irritation than it is a, painful type thing.
Word. Well, we're glad to hear you're doing well, man.
About football. I'm real nervous about football.
Yeah, me too. And here's the thing. You and I think, are more or less on the same wavelength here. And I'm concerned. I was just saying that when you called, that I think some of these scientist types are going to try to get to these university president types and give them the scare cell. You know what I mean?
I am close to folks at UAB in Alabama and on the other side of the state, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be really, really hard to stand up to the academics on this thing. Because
a lot of these university presidents are themselves academics, you know?
Correct. No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And when I can't, Dr. Sag was there was an article. It was somebody put it on the bunker, and they're not really. I don't know. It just, the comments they're making do not lend themselves to the idea that elite college athletes are not truly at risk, or I guess any risk is
very, very low risk.
Yeah, they're very, very low risk. College football is a risk. That's a problem. Like playing college football is dangerous.
Very.
I don't know. I just think it's. I don't see it. I don't see it being played.
I'm very concerned, and it seems like every week now I'm getting more and more pessimistic, because when I ask people questions, they're always like, I don't know, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping you guys would say, hell yeah, everything's good. You know, I mean, not everything's good in the world, but we're going to make this work.
I have heard that like kind of the quote instant testing, which is like the 15-minute test, is the answer in order to play.
Yeah.
And that NIH has approved one. But I don't know. I just don't think that no university is going to be willing to risk one student athlete. And I get it. I wouldn't want to be in that responsibility. Wouldn't want to have that responsibility either.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's right on Alan Green. You know, if he makes the decision, hey, we're going to do this, that, and the other thing, he's got those kids' health on his back, so to speak. You know.
Exactly. It's just, it's an untenable situation. But he's also, even before COVID, he had their health on his back. And there are kids every single year who end up not walking again because of college football.
Well,
and nobody.
Remember that kid at the kid at Rutgers a few years ago?
Kid from Harvard. That was at Harvard.
Yeah, him too. Yeah, I mean, football's dangerous, but in this case, it's everybody. It's soccer players. It's equestrian. It's everybody. Right. So I'm concerned. And if you move it to spring, I mean, that brings a whole separate set of problems, you know?
If you move it to spring, I would guess that any upperclassman with a chance of playing in the NFL does not play. Trevor Lawrence doesn't play.
That's a great point, too. I hadn't even thought about the NFL side. I was just thinking that, first of all, you mess up the potential for the fall, and then you also, what if the spring? I mean, why do we think the spring will be great?
Correct.
There's no reason to believe that. I mean, I believe a vaccine is coming, but is it going to be 100%, or is it not? I feel like we have to acknowledge right at this point, Power Man, something that your brother pointed out a long time ago, that we believe there's different versions of this virus.
Yes.
I mean, they've all but acknowledged that now.
Right. I was texting with a group of folks, some of them on the bunker, that we were talking about it was the Braves players, that Freddie Freeman and some of them, like, and one of the golfers the other last week, they test positive twice or negative twice and then positive once. And when you're testing as regularly as they're going to test, you're going to get these like if the test is 70 or 80 or even 90% accurate, you're going to have false positives or false negatives. And so the testing thing is going to be a huge problem too. Like you're just going to get, it's going to be, I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they would do it reliably.
I bet NFL works, though. They can do different things in the NFL that you don't have to do in college football, you know?
Totally agree. I think if you watch ESPN and FS1 and some of those shows now, all they do all day is make up hypotheticals about NFL scenarios.
I know. They love it.
And they have to have NFL play. And the NFL is going to play. I think the NFL will play.
I know, but no college football is going to ruin some schools, man. It's going to, not Auburn, but other
it ruins
schools.
the models. It ruins the models. I mean, it is catastrophic. And there are so many people that depend on college football to take themselves to the next rung and get a college education, and just it's such a bad deal. It is such a bad deal if this doesn't happen.
I don't know, man. You got anything positive to talk about? It was a beautiful day today.
Yeah, it was a great day. I guess the fireworks will be nice.
And you're feeling better, so that's good.
Yeah. No, but I'm generally pessimistic about all this stuff now. It's I guess it sucks.
Yeah.
It really sucks.
It sucks. Well, brother, appreciate you calling in, being our first caller.
We need Rex Brown to catch fire and beat up on this Spaniard-looking guy that's tearing us up.
I know. Hey, you behave yourself out there, Power Man. We appreciate you calling in.
Bye-bye.
See, man. There he is, the one and the only Power Man. He would certainly be a first ballot Brain Drain Hall of Famer. He put together some of the best calls we ever had in football season. And I mean, not that his call today was bad at all. I'm just saying, like, when we were just starting out, he was pounding that phone line, and we appreciated it very much. He's a thoughtful poster, but also a little mischievous, which I think, that's what the bunker's all about. Don't you go dark on me. Let's see what's going on here. We're talking a little bit about college football and the stuff that Power Man was talking about. Rob D says one team out there will screw every team, meaning one team will have either a rash of positive tests, or we'll have one or two kids have to go to the hospital, and then we're into bad situation. Yeah, I don't even want to. Canoe Man says, imagine Bama without football. The SEC, and I can't even say the whole SEC, because I think there's programs like Vanderbilt that don't have the resources that Auburn or Alabama or Florida have. Tennessee, maybe LSU. I mean, if anybody's going to make it, it's going to be the top 3/4 of the SEC. I mean, they're fortified places with a lot of support and a lot of money. But if there's no football, I mean, there's going to have to be major changes made, at least temporary ones, and they're going to have to shut some programs down, and coaches are going to be out of work. And I mean, they can honor the scholarships, but yeah, those are things you just don't want to even think about. Pocket Watch says Vandy has the resources if they want to have them. Yeah, on the academic side, no doubt, but they've got a weird dichotomy there where they're like, remember when they like essentially abolished their athletic department and said that they were behind, they were under, like intramurals basically. It was like, what? And they've changed a little bit since then. They modernized a little bit, but they refuse to let athletics drive the bus at Vanderbilt. They ain't going to do that. And it's pretty obvious that that's not a problem, because they're just not very good in many sports at all. There's some where they are. Baseball, they're awesome. Girls basketball, they were good for a while. Men's basketball, they've been good at times. Football, they're rarely any good. They don't field a softball team, so. Let's see. AU Texman says it's been said, but if a coach for any team dies, it's all over. Well, yeah. Rob D says, worst case, death of an overweight older coach. You're describing Rodney Garner right there. I hope it's not Rodney Garner. I don't want anybody's Rodney Garner to die. I mean, geez, you're just coaching football, man. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not worth all that. Underarms 2012 says, all aboard. What's up, JG? Glad to have you on the show again, sir. I think you were here last week. Some of y'all, I think, change your handles every now and then, so I'm not sure exactly if I'm talking to the same person over and over again, but I know we've seen you here in the last month or so. We're glad to have you back, sir. Canoeman says Vandy is a really odd dynamic, especially considering it's an SEC program. Agree completely. It's just it's the weird place to go. I mean, I happen to really like their basketball gym. It's my favorite gym in the league. And obviously it's an outstanding academic outpost. Probably that or Mizzou's probably, academic-wise the top. But I mean, Auburn's made. I feel like when I got here in the 90s, Auburn, not that Auburn was bad. It was just, I thought it was kind of an average, big-ass school academically. And I feel like they've taken at least a full step, if not another 2 steps forward in that regard. I feel like Auburn has made a lot of progress to that end. And is now, I mean, I know the research qualifications that they put together under, was it Leith? I think. Was pretty big. So, I mean, I don't know. Auburn's really pushed forward, and they put a lot of money into their facilities on the academic side. Auburn is a beautiful campus. I don't know. I mean, I know you guys go to games or watch the team and shit. For those of you who don't just roll around campus and see all the stuff that's going on away from the football stadium, I mean, it's really nice. I took a lot of college visits in the last year because my daughter was a senior in high school last year. We've been to a lot of places, and Auburn would be number one as far as just the aesthetic, and I would not have said that 25 years ago. I feel like Auburn was average at best. My alma mater, Kentucky, is butt naked ugly. Like, it's just gross. I don't know if it's gotten better. I don't hang out there anymore. But when I was a student there, I thought Kentucky was the ugliest school in the SEC, including Mississippi State. And I would have put Auburn in the middle. But Auburn's beautiful now. Lots and lots of upgrades. It's a great looking school. Alabama's a nice looking school too. Ole Miss is a really nice looking school. A lot of greenery, a lot of green areas at Ole Miss. So anyway, Rob D says Auburn soccer still scheduled to play. Absolutely, they're the first ones up. I think their first game is like August 15th or something like that. I mean, I'm not exactly covering soccer, but yeah, they're absolutely scheduled to play. I think those girls were coming on campus last week, getting them back going. So. Says, wait, you like Memorial? You talking about the gym at Vanderbilt? Hell yes. I love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, dude, Auburn Arena is a really good arena. If you're talking about like modern day arenas, I really like Auburn Arena, and they did it right. That was a smart build for what Auburn is. Memorial Gym at Vanderbilt is just such a weird. I mean, you've got the court is like above the floor, right? The floor of the arena. So if you're in the first row of seats, the court would be like, up here. It's above you. And then you've got the it looks like I would imagine that years and years ago it was probably a place where they did performances. Like it was like a theater, because it's built like a theater. It's cool as hell, I think. And then back when I was a youngster, and some of you guys remember this, their benches were on the side on the end lines. Nowadays they moved it. But in the beginning, it was under the baseline. So that really gave it an extra twist. It was harder to communicate when your team was on the other end of the court. Pocket Watch says, yes, it's unique. I like unique. I do. That is one place that I just, you talk about unique basketball arenas. I mean, that's one. I mean, UK is too, just because it's so big and it's like a cavern in there. Like the top sections you can't, they're not really lit, so you don't see them, but you hear them, and that arena, when they're really, really going, it shakes. I mean, you can feel it moving around, particularly if you're sitting up there. It actually moves, literally. I was there at 95-ish when Starberry came. Georgia Tech played at Auburn, and Starberry was there along with white dude, Matt Harpering, I think. And everybody was really up for that game. And, I mean, it was actually just kind of moving like this. And I was a little uneasy, to be honest with you. Ed D says the benches are under the basket of Vandy. I think they're on the side now. I think they've been moved. But I have not personally been to Vandy in a minute, so I could be wrong about that. Pocket Watch says he thinks they're still under the baskets. In that case, I would imagine that that's probably where they are then. And Canoe Man says they are on the baselines. All right, fair enough. I was wrong on that. Raven P says, what about this new scoreboard we're getting in the new arena? Yes, huge. So we were in there, me, B-Matt, and Jay Lee were in there to tape our show because Voodoo was closed the other day. And they're doing a bunch of stuff in there. First of all, they've already got the lights in. They've got new lights. And I always thought Auburn Arena was average as far as lighting goes. It just was a little dark. I don't know if you guys would notice it when you're sitting in there because, I mean, fuck, you're watching a basketball game in an arena. But for me, when I was trying to shoot with the camera on the baseline, it would just get it was a little dark in there for shooting. Oh hell no, it ain't dark now. They've added a bunch of lights, and they're like more of a blue color than an orange color in a way, and it just hits harder. So when Auburn wears whites, it's really going to reflect. So they've upgraded that for sure. Now, when I was in there the other day, they were just kind of taking down the old scoreboard, so I don't know what the new one's going to look like yet. But the old one, I mean, I think it was great for 2009. A friend of mine, you guys are going to be shocked to learn this, but we have a lot of engineers on the Auburn board, and we have a few who are in stadium construction, stadium design, I should say. And one of them was telling me the other day, trusted associate, was telling me the other day that the technology for scoreboards actually flips really, really fast. So, Auburn, again here, Auburn is what? That arena is 10 years old or so, and the fact that they are flipping it now and getting a brand new one is really smart, because he said there's going to be a lot of stuff available technology-wise that wasn't even thought of 5 years ago. So that's awesome, and they needed it. I thought that middle board was good for like Wofford. Not these days. At the time, it was pretty sweet, but so I think that's good. And Canoe Man says the old one's 11 years old. 11 years is a long time for a Costco floor model. Costco floor model. I know what you mean, though, man. I mean, it was cool when it was first put in, but it just got a little. I thought the screens were a little iffy. Anyway, Mickey Sudo ate 48.5 hot dogs in 10 minutes. That is the Japanese gal who competes at the Nathan's Hot Dog Contest. I did not watch it today, although I'm not philosophically opposed to it. I know Joey Chestnut won again and set a record again. And then Mickey Sudo as well. That's pretty big. Hello, caller. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Fire guest.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, Tater?
Is this Alpha?
It is.
What up, bro?
Oh, not much, man. Just got off the lake a couple hours ago, took a little nap, and back at it again.
Hell yeah, you are. You're here because you're a badass, and I almost want to apologize for having to take down a few of your memes this week, but they were a little iffy.
Did you take down one today? I didn't even notice, honestly.
I'm not sure. I mean, they make me chuckle, and then I got to take them down just because they're pretty bad.
I mean, like half the shit I post, like honestly, like I post like knowing full well that it very well may get taken down. So
it happens.
I don't get offended by it, so no worries there.
Do you have an opinion on Joey Chestnut just absolutely demolishing shit at the Nathan's hot dog eating contest today?
I didn't actually even know that it happened still. So did he win?
Hell yeah, he won. First of all, America. Second of all, Joey Chestnut's a badass. He's an American treasure, man.
I mean, I'm not surprised he won. I mean, he's won, like, except for the Asian dude who later got disqualified for the stomach thing. He's won pretty much like every other one in the last, like, decade. So
yeah, because we're a badass country and we produce badasses, and he's a badass.
How many did he eat?
A lot.
A lot.
I don't know.
Like a lot.
I'm interested to know, but I don't know. I bet we have some folks in the chat that would know.
What's all this WAR Tampa talk? What is that about? I've been kind of offline most of the day.
Sure. So they're doing a amateur basketball tournament right now in Columbus, Ohio. It's just basically like anybody who's not a pro. Well, that's not even true. Anybody who's not in the NBA, I guess. Just jump in here, and the best team, the best five, can win $1 million if they win the tournament. And so there's a team, WAR Tampa, that's got Bryce and Horace and Deshaun Murray on there. And so a lot of Auburn.
Horace hit these 3-pointers yet?
Yeah, absolutely. Bryce has been playing pretty well, and Deshaun's been playing pretty well, but the rest of the team's kind of eh.
No, has Horace hit any threes yet?
Oh, no. I hope he's not shooting any.
Well, he almost had that one against Kentucky in the Elite Eight last year.
Almost.
So.
The chat says that Joey Chestnut had, and you're not going to believe this, but he had 75 hot dogs today. 70.
Sounds absolutely miserable.
Doesn't it, man? You know he's messed up for 2 days, even if he does this all the time. I mean, it's still 75 freaking hot dogs.
I don't think I have 75 hot dogs in a year, to be honest. So.
Oh, I definitely don't. No. Let's see. Pocket Watch says that he actually, that Horace did attempt a 3 earlier. I did not see it.
Okay. Well, that's good to. I'm sure it was probably about as bad as most of his other 10 players at Auburn. So.
In practice he's not that bad, but in games he wasn't very good. Alpha, are you concerned about the football season, bro? I mean, how concerned are you, seriously?
I mean, it's a lot of money to walk away from. I think the schools are going to do everything they can. My thoughts are kind of like, I'm kind of surprised that the players are as willing to do it. I think when you talk about, amateur and student athletes not getting paid, I think you're going to have some of these players like, well, why should we put it on the line? I hope we have a season, but I guess it remains to be seen. I've actually got in the background right now. I haven't had a whole lot to bitch about Gus about lately, so I'm watching the Auburn Florida game from last year to bring back some good memories.
Well, the time for bitching about Gus is upon us. It's getting to be that time. Under normal circumstances, it would be. We'd be only weeks away. So,
realistically speaking, and I think y'all brought it up on the rundown earlier this week, like there's zero chance Gus is going to get fired this year, even if he has a terrible season. So,
I don't know if anyone's going to get fired from anywhere at this point.
I think at this point you're going to see some contracts run out. There's no sense in kind of hopefully, if anybody's dumb enough to, it would be Auburn, but not Gus were to happen to win 9 or 10 games, give Gus an extension of his existing contract, which I hope doesn't happen. But, you start to see some of these contracts, whittle down to 2 to 3 years, and we'll see, I guess. But I think a lot of it will have to do. He's safe this year, but who's to say the economy won't be back roaring next year this time, and him be on the hot seat. But again, I think a lot of that's going to have to do with how Chad does as our offensive coordinator. I think if Gus is ever going to give full control, he would do it for Chad.
Yeah.
I still, kind of believe it when I see it. I'm kind of in that court right now. But at the same time, a lot of times when Gus has taken over because he felt like he's had to because he's on the hot seat, maybe with less pressure and not so much worried about his job, maybe he's more willing to, let Chad roll and see what he can do.
Word.
Maybe take some risks that Gus otherwise would not take.
Well, I'm with you on all that. If there's one guy on this planet that Gus would trust, it would be Chad Morris. And if I think there's one guy that could actually get through to Gus, it would be Chad Morris. So this is the last chance, and I think it's the perfect guy to be giving him the last chance, Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like a, like you said, last chance. If this guy can't get through to him, then you've got to, look at it and nobody's going to. This is Gus. This is what you're going to be with. You either take it or leave it. There's some of our fan base, like your Rice, your Pena or whatever it is on the bunker, those folks that have been, Gus, I wouldn't say supporters, but certainly defenders. Are you guys complacent with 8-4 with the occasional 10-win season, or do you want to try to take the next step? I think we'll see how that goes. You never know what it's going to come down to. Some people, I think, want to just wait till Saban retires. They're afraid to make another move and risk dropping off, especially as tough as the West is right now. But
good point.
It's just at the end of the day, Gus fares okay against Saban. It's everybody else, like LSU and Georgia, who he struggles against.
Yeah, that's true.
I think some of the losses against Georgia are just embarrassing
Horrible.
At this point. It's just everything lined up in our favor going into the games with either Georgia injuries or it being in Auburn, and the offense just completely shits the bed. Pardon my language, but
of course,
last year. But so we'll see. I guess kind of see how that plays out. It'll be interesting to see this fall if we have an altered schedule as well, if we even play. How that plays out.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the season.
What are your thoughts on the whole Mike Gundy taking $1 million pay cut thing?
Yeah, I don't really know what the story is on that. I don't I personally didn't have a problem with him wearing the OAN shirt, but I mean, I'm a sports writer. I'm a message board moderator. Like, people aren't watching me the way they're watching him, and he seemed genuinely bothered that the fact that he had upset people by wearing that, or his players, I should say. So I don't understand why he.
You thought his apology, I guess, was sincere? I mean,
well, as a sports reporter, I feel like I have to take things on face value.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have to take it on face value.
To me, it seems like he just kind of caved, and I've tried to went the method, or I guess the route of appeasement versus standing by your principles. I mean, I think on its face, the idea that somebody's offended by a T-shirt of a news organization, whether you watch it, agree with it or not, I think it's pretty silly on its face. I probably have some more colorful language that I would use to describe it, but I'm trying to be, somewhat cordial on your show.
They're definitely pushing the boundaries on OAN, and I'm somebody that watches it on occasion. I watch the Tipping Point, and I think it's entertaining, but they do push it a little bit. I mean, they push the QAnon thing, and they push the Seth Rich thing a little bit too far. I mean, they're pushing it. But now, is that what pisses off Chuba Hubbard? Probably not. I don't know if Seth Rich is really the the issue of the day for him.
Do you think any of these kids have actually even ever watched OAN? Because, I mean, one, I haven't. I couldn't even tell you what channel it is on my TV. I mean, I just think that these middle-aged white women who are starting all this, like, Black Lives Matter organization are just, like, telling these kids what they should be offended by, and they're just running with it. Like, your coach wore an OAN shirt. That's a racist news outlet. And they just start this whole, like, I guess I need to be, this is my moment to shine on Twitter and, throw my coach under the bus even before going to him directly.
But why would first of all, I think it was wrong that he went to Twitter, and I think the kid capitulated and said that was a bad decision. But I don't know. You have a relationship with your coach, particularly Chuba Hubbard, who's a tailback, star player, potential Heisman type dude. I mean, he knows Mike Gundy. I don't know why he had to go to Twitter to do that. But at the same time, I don't see a problem with him raising a concern with Mike Gundy. I think he went about it the wrong way, but if he says, hey, I think it's a racist organization and you shouldn't be dealing with that, then it's up to Mike Gundy to say, hey, you're wrong about that, or, hey, maybe you have a point. I don't know. I just take it on face value. If Mike Gundy wants to come out and say, hey, I was being a dipshit and I shouldn't have been wearing that, then I just take it at face value and move on.
Right. I mean, I think if Gundy, actually believes that, then you need to say it, but I think that, if he's just, rolling his eyes when he goes out in front of the camera and, he's going to go home, watch OEN tonight, you need to stand behind your principles. That's my main point.
I don't know him personally. I know his younger brother, Cale, because I played baseball with him back growing up in the 80s in Oklahoma, but Mike Gundy does not have a track record of being full of shit. He's not the kind of guy that goes out there and says a bunch of lying-ass bullshit. He pretty much says what he's thinking. So for me, when I hear him say that, I think that's what he's thinking. That's just me, though. I could be wrong, and I don't cover Oklahoma State. So anyway,
gotcha.
Alpha Tiger, you're a badass. Glad you called in, bro.
I appreciate it.
What was the next thing you wanted to ask me, though? I wasn't trying to cut you off. I was just saying I'm glad you called in.
Oh, okay. No, I was going to ask. I mean, you asked what I thought about the season, if it was going to happen. I was going to see what your thoughts were. I mean, kind of where you were thinking.
I'm concerned. I mentioned it earlier when Powerman called in. I think these academic people, these scientists, are going to get to these university presidents, many of whom are themselves scientists, and they're going to give them the scare agenda. They're going to say numbers are way up in Alabama, they're way up in Georgia, they're way up in Florida. I just don't see how you can expose your kids to this kind of situation. And I think it's going to be enough to persuade the university presidents to say, we can't afford it. And I hate it. I'm worried that it goes like that. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just don't see how you can forecast what it's going to be like in September, October, and how you can make those calls today. They're trying to go ahead and let's just go ahead and cancel the season. And it's just and quite frankly, I'm in the belief that after the election, the whole thing's going to be a dead issue essentially. I mean, it is. I mean, you look at the case rates rising, but the death rate is not. The death rate is still continuing to go down further and further. I think that it's being politicized too much, in my opinion. But
agreed. Yeah, it's become a political thing so much, and so when these university presidents make a decision, it's going to be viewed as a political thing one way or another. I mean, depending on what they decide. So It's kind of a loaded question for him, but hey, that's not my problem. That's their problem. It's Dr. Gooch's problem. But
Yeah,
we are
so,
all
I
going to
mean,
be
do
hurting.
you think it's,
Everybody,
Sorry, go ahead.
you and I, and everybody listen to you and I talk right now are going to be absolutely devastated if there's no college football this year. I mean, it's going to really, really suck. But I guess it's not about us.
Oh, I know that. I mean, and do you think, like, if the season were to get canceled, do you think that pretty much eliminates a lot of your football programs for your mid to lower tier programs in the FBS? I mean, do you think it kind of brings? Do you think that that's going to be like the kind of the nail in the coffin of moving to like the Power Six being its own
Yes,
kind of conference across the
I
board?
do. I think that fundamentally changes the landscape of college football. And I think, like you mentioned, the haves, like Auburn and many other teams that are big like Auburn, and the have-nots, the places like Miami, Ohio, or Akron, or Weber's. Oh, hell, they're not part of it. Whatever other school you want to pick, they're gone. They just kind of wither away. It's bad for college football, but it's bad for kids because there's a lot less scholarships now. But yeah, I think that's the thing that breaks it up. It's kind of like the San Andreas fault finally broke, and I think that's what would do it. Yeah.
As devastating as that would be for like this fall in terms of entertainment and in a market where we are also not going to have any like new TV shows, blah blah blah, and all that shit going on
Yes.
right now.
No.
Do you think that would be better for college football in the long term, like big picture? I mean, kind of getting away from playing your Savannah States, your Alabama States of the world, and like all those useless games where the score's going to be 70-0 unless you put your third string in. It depends on when you put your third string in, whether it be start the third quarter or the last couple of drives.
I think
like
it just
that
depends on where
sometimes.
I think it depends on where you are. So when I started my career here in Montgomery, when I was in Montgomery, I worked for the newspaper here. I covered Alabama State football, and they didn't have a lot of money. And Auburn played ASU a few years ago. It was a huge windfall for them. I mean, the kind of money that they get from playing Auburn or Nebraska or whoever the hell else they play, dude, that's a game changer for that program. And the kids at ASU are great kids, just like the kids at Auburn. They're just not as good at football, And I hate the idea that they wouldn't have the same opportunities to play, to go on the road, to win a big game at Grambling or whatever. I hate that there would be fewer kids enjoying that because, man, it's a lot of fucking fun doing that, So.
Oh, and I hate it for the kids too, but I mean, you've got to think about it from like everything's based on ratings now, and I mean, you're talking if every game, Auburn's playing 12 teams in the Power 5 conferences. How is that? I mean, how is that not good for ratings? Essentially, at the end of the day, I mean, that's my question. Kind of like from like a big picture perspective, like, is it better? Is it a better business decision per se for them to move to the Power 5 versus and have their own basically conference or league essentially versus the status quo?
I don't know, man. There's just too much to learn, I think, before we get to that point. I will say this. I have a friend of mine. I've been doing this a minute now. A friend of mine who was interviewing for a job at a good non-Power 5 basketball program. Like he was going to try to be the head coach there, and he lost. And he's now back to being an assistant at a Division I team, and he is now so grateful that he didn't win the job because now he's scared as hell to be. I'll tell you, the school it was Sanford. He was the runner-up at the job at Sanford, and now it's just like, gosh. Whew. I mean, do you want to be the head coach at Sanford right now, basketball? I don't know, because it's like, if they don't play, is that program going to make it? Is Sanford Athletics going to make it? I mean, I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see for sure, and I think that's it's probably also going to raise the number of kids applicants and make it a little bit more competitive to get into these schools that do survive because I mean you'll have a better pool to select from because people are going to want to go to schools where they have sports to watch too.
That's
so
true.
It's going to be kind of a trickle down effect all the way across the board.
Word. It just sucks, man. It's like,
yeah.
but don't think badly of the kids at ASU and Grambling and Alcorn or I mean wherever the smaller schools, Miami, Ohio, or Akron, dude. They're out there grinding just as hard. They're just not as good, And I mean, hell, I can speak to that. I'm not that great myself, so I don't know.
And I certainly sympathize with that situation. I played baseball at junior college, so
word.
I'm sure that those are kind of be your first programs to probably get to see the chopping block. So Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out this fall. I wish people would, kind of put the politics aspect of it aside, because it does affect people like these kids playing at these smaller schools.
It does.
And you're trying to basically shut down, the sport this fall and all sports this fall, for a political narrative, and then to see it, to see how many people it really affects in the long run, and your high school seniors as well. How many kids who aren't even have a chance to play in college have their senior season ruined. So.
Alpha Tiger, you're an absolute titan, and we appreciate you calling in, brother. You be good out there.
I appreciate it. Have a good one.
See you, Alpha. There he is, Alpha Tiger. We're glad to have him. Always has some thought-provoking questions to ask when he's on the horn, and glad to have him. Good shit. Also kind of an avant-garde poster on the bunker. Makes you think a little bit. The situation with WAR Tampa is not looking good. They are in the fourth quarter. They are currently down 16. And, yeah, it's not looking great. Single elimination tournament. So if WAR Tampa goes down here, that would be a wrap for WAR Tampa. Just the whole thing. So I'm sure that would suck for them, because I don't know how long they've been messing with it. I mean, they've been practicing maybe 10 days in their bubble, I guess. Something like that. It's hard to kind of do the show and try to watch that and see what they're doing. Keeping an eye on Bryce. And I mean, he's been playing hard, doing his usual Bryce stuff. Anywho. ASU, talking about ASU. Some folks are like, hey, man, don't be hating on ASU. I get it, totally. I covered ASU. I got kicked off campus, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I didn't deserve it, but I'm not mad. Ron Dickerson apologized to me. It's fine. It was years later, but that doesn't matter. Leif B back after his break from the show. Canoe Man says, let us see that sexy new computer, please. Let me see if I can do that. I mean, you can't really see it very well, but that is it right there. And I'm watching the show on. Oh, damn. Sorry, I need to back it up a little bit. Sorry about that, guy. Oh, no, I lost my little good luck charm there. So that is the iMac Pro that essentially you guys made it possible for us to get that and we'll be doing the GPIT streams on that. That thing, that can definitely handle 3 streams, the processing power of that. And Canoe Man, you were a big part of that. Many other folks, Ruxy Poo, Jazzy Joe, Why Not AU, Canoe Man, Pocket Watch. You guys have all jumped in on there. Leif, been a big part of that as well. Tons and tons of folks. We keep them there on the crawl because we love you guys. Stu Pup as well, always here with the show. So thank you guys so much. And so I wasn't able to get all my stuff migrated over to it. So I wasn't able to do the show today on there. But definitely by next week, we're going to be good. And I'm hoping that GPITs will do that Monday. Neil is off on vacation, so I think it's going to be me and Gabriel. And that'll be 2 video streams, but we'll get it going. No, there's no doubt. Raven Pieces, are you still considering second monitor? So here's the deal on that, Raven. I've never had one, and I need to understand how that would benefit me. Now, I would do it. I just don't understand how to use that. I've never had a second monitor. So can I put like chat on one monitor and then like OBS on another monitor and then ESPN on another monitor or something like that? I don't know. Leif B says Neil needs a break. Neil has seemed a little tight to me the last 2 or 3 weeks. And I think it's great that he's been able to go to the beach and hang out with him and Laura. And I reckon at least some of his kids went with him. And seriously, guys, we joke about it on the show on GPITs, but his wife is she's something. I really like Laura. She's one of my all-time favorites. She's a very interesting, opinionated, and I mean this in the best way, pushy girl, because I don't have any room in my life for beta women. She's an alpha. Love that about her. So he chose very wisely on that one. And she's really pretty too, but that's totally separate. I like hanging out with her. She's a lot of fun. She's pushy. I mean, girls in this society, they got to be pushy or they won't get anywhere. Look at that little move there. Oh, and you got stuffed. That was a foul, though. Alpha Tiger with a big super chat. Thank you, sir. It says, thanks for letting my drunk self ramble. Of course, man. Sober or not. We love having you on the show, bro. You always have some good... I always can tell you're, like, thinking about shit, you know? And I appreciate that about you. We got some nerds on the bunker that just want to talk shit and get people riled up, but I feel like you're actually thinking along with stuff. And I think you're pretty damn funny sometimes, too. I mean, even the memes that I had to delete, I thought were pretty funny. But, you know, they were a little too far. Let's see. Ed D says, will Chad go up-tempo? Will he call up-tempo to run the ball up the middle? Oh. I don't feel like Chad, I don't feel like he pushes tempo as much as he did before. I think it's just going to be more about some different ideas in the run game. Absolutely. And I think you're going to see, we've talked about the tight end. And I think even more so than just tight end, because really a tight end's a receiver, right? Just some different things are going to, oh, dude, you didn't just miss a 3-footer, did you? He did. It's going to be some different things with the receivers. I think it's going to be like route combinations that maybe make a little more sense or a little different. Instead of just running, smash 7, they run something else that messes up things because Chad's been thinking about that more. I don't know. And when I say that, it makes it sound like, Gus needs help or whatever. I mean, Gus is a pretty accomplished coach, but I just think there's some things. I think he's gotten a little set in his ways, and defenses have caught up to him. And I think Chad will figure out a way to get those receivers open and kind of break some trends, break some tendencies. Yeah. Let's see. Stu Pup says WAR Tampa equals Brick Tampa. I don't have the shoot. Uh-oh. He just hit a 3. So House of Pain is now up 21 with 6 minutes to go. This is not great. Flying around, my man in West Vance. He has to live in enemy territory, or at least he works in enemy territory. I don't know if he lives over there. But we're glad to have you flying around. It says, drink one for America. Of course. It would be my pleasure to drink one for America, brother. Thank you for jumping in, sir. Muy delicioso. Pretty fired up about getting this new computer going, though. It just took me, we got it yesterday afternoon late, and I've been trying to migrate the stuff from this laptop onto that, and it kept hanging. And so I went out and got a new external hard drive, and we're going to try it again with that. And if we don't do that, then we're just going to have to do some different stuff, figure it out. But I got, at that point, I've got days. In this situation, I only had like 24 hours to get it ready for the show, and I couldn't get it done. This was for flying around and America. Did we drink one earlier for Power Man? Because Power Man had to have something taken off his nose, skin cancer. And had kind of a miserable, crummy first half of the week. I think he's feeling better now, but it probably doesn't feel good. Your old boy's getting a little bit loaded here. Hell, we're only an hour and 21 minutes into this bad boy, but I've been drinking pretty much nonstop, and I didn't eat a lot before we got on the air, so I'm a little bit tore up. Uh-oh, House of Pain just scored again. Oh, that's still 21. That's not looking good. Let's see. BP4IU says they need Jared. Yeah. Well, Jared's under contract with the Knicks. Chuma Okeke, yeah, he's under contract with the Magic. And that guy, Bryce Brown, shooting that thing from way downtown. I forgot that song now. And that guy, Bryce Brown. Yeah, it was good stuff. What's the latest on Chuma? I mean, I don't know what to tell you on that. He is doing well from his knee injury. He feels like he's back from that. And he would be prepared for the Oh, that guy went down kind of hard. He would be prepared for the season if the Magic are involved, but you know. Well, the Magic are going to play. I don't think he's going to be part of that, though. They're probably going to sit him out the whole year. He was very young anyway. Probably going to go ahead. There's no reason to really push him now. They are going to play in the bubble, but I've been thinking about being a Magic fan. The reason, I know BP, I know, I just couldn't remember how they started it. We've got Jared, Chuma, oh Kiki. I got you, bro. I was thinking along with you. I just forgot the song right away. Dude, I think WAR Tampa's in deep shit here. I mean, they're down 20. No, they're down 19, excuse me, with 4 minutes to go. This is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Do that. That 43 guy's annoying as hell. I'm a little bit behind because I'm watching this on internet. But Pocket Watch said Spencer for 3. Horace, he's killing me, man. Rob D says the fireworks are here. Are you hearing some fireworks, bro? I haven't heard any yet, but I'm expecting a few. I kind of like fireworks. They don't give me any. I'm not a PTSD kind of guy. They don't really worry me. Although I will say this: the first year I was in Montgomery, it wasn't July 4th though. They were doing something over the. I was in a apartment by the Shakespeare Festival, and I started hearing a bunch of what I thought were gunshots, and I called in, and they were like, "Those are fireworks, bro." My bad. I didn't know anything was going on. It's okay. Ed Darby says, what do we think about Anders Carlson this year? I think Anders, we're doing our top 20 countdown right now. Anders, I think, was 21. If not, he was 22. He and Jaron Handy were right there together. I just don't feel like anyone. Pocket Watches, are you sure it wasn't really gunshots? Pocket Watch says that's a rough area. It wasn't at the time, dude. So in 97, 98, it wasn't that bad over there. I don't know. I don't really hang out over there now, but anyway, it may have been gunshots. Ironically, the only time I've ever actually seen like someone who was using a gun for menacing purposes was in Lexington, not in Montgomery. So I'm watching ESPN. Hopefully you guys can help me with this a little bit. I'm watching ESPN. It says Eagles live from the Forum. Is that like, what does that mean? What is that about? Is that like the Eagles, the rock band? Or is that like Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles? Or is that like some other shit that I'm just not aware of? It says live from the Forum, which I guess is the Forum in L.A. in Inglewood. You guys help me out on that one. Canoe Man says, do they actually say bro on the phone? No, I doubt it. I doubt it. It's a concert they recorded. So is it actually the Eagles? Like, no shit? That was back when Jay was an American Pie regular. Hey, now. Pocket Watch says, 3-day concert that was a big deal when it happened. The band. Oh, that's cool. Why would it be on ESPN? I mean, that's cool, I guess. It's funny. Before the virus hit, so when you go to basketball games, when you cover basketball games, there's a delay between when the game ends and when the kids or BP come available in the press room. It's probably 20 to 30 minutes, maybe. So during one of those delays, like after the game, we were waiting for interviews. I started talking to some of the other beat reporters about the Eagles. And I was talking about who the greatest American rock band was, which to me, the Eagles aren't even in the fucking conversation about that because the Eagles kind of basically suck, right? I don't think they're any good. I like New Kid in Town. Hotel California is pretty damn good too, but a lot of this other stuff is, to me, it's just dreck. It's just terrible. it hurts my ears. And I mean, listen, if you guys love the Eagles and like Don Henley's like the voice of God to you, cool, man. I could be wrong totally, but I just think the Eagles kind of stink. So we started talking about that, and I was surprised to find out that so many Auburn beat writers thought the Eagles were really good. And wow, I didn't realize. It was funny to hear somebody say the Rolling Stones. I was like, Rolling Stones? They're not from America. Canoe Man says the Eagles completely suck. Thank you, Canoe Man. I don't know if it was like completely suck, but to be fair, like friend of the band, J.D. Souther, he's the one who wrote New Kid in Town anyway. So they wouldn't even have that song if it weren't for him. And he's not even part of the Eagles. Canoe Man says beyond overrated. I see, yeah, that's the thing for me. Yeah, super overrated. Anyway, greatest American band for me. Like, who is the answer? Like, what's the right answer for that? Like, for me, and I'm just telling you my experience, right? It's either CCR, and I love CCR. I know you guys maybe you do or maybe you don't. I don't know. And I love me some Van Halen, too. I'm not saying Van Halen 2, the record. I'm saying Van Halen, the group from Los Angeles. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Leif Benson comes in. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers from Gainesville, Florida. Outstanding American rock group. Super, super good. Oh, shit, guys. I just heard some fireworks. Oh, it's finally July 4th for me. I heard some fireworks. Oh, Bruce Springsteen. Rob D, great call, bro. Grateful Dead, another great one. I love Grateful Dead. D Lucky says NWA, which is actually a group that I probably listen to more than any of these groups that we're talking about. Yeah, if you're talking, you're actually right, dude. If you're talking about guys that matter to me, NWA is right there. In fact, I have an Eazy-E shirt that I wore long before that freaking movie came out because I loved NWA back in the 80s. I realize that I'm just like a regular middle-class white dude, and I was living in Tulsa at the time. Like the whitest guy ever. But I loved NWA, and I loved Eazy-E. I still love him. As you guys know, I went to his gravesite when we were out there for the bowl game in 2013, and it was actually on January 1st, just because it happened to be that day. And I brought a 40, and there was a spot for it. Anyway, NWA. Yeah, that's a great one. Grateful Dead also was a great one. I don't listen to Grateful Dead, but I respect them for what they did. Tom Petty, Metallica, shit. God, I've listened to so much Metallica in my life. Ed D says, you beating me is like Billy Crystal playing Scarface. I can't see it. I'm blind to the eyes. I came up in your face. Oops, pow, surprise. Oh! I don't know what that has to do with American greatness, but that's good stuff right there, bro. Chappelle Show, absolutely. Love the Cat says Allman Brothers, another good one. I don't listen to a lot of Allman Brothers, but Amy's a great song. There's no doubt about that. Commodore, what does NWA stand for? Northwest Airlines. I don't really want to get into that. New Kids on the Block, probably not as much, Chaz. Beastie Boys, good stuff. R.I.P. Adam Yauch. MCA. Chris Williams says Two Live Crew. I was listening to Two Live Crew the other day. They have a song on their second record, I think it was, called Move Something. Absolutely love it, man. Two Live Crew was so good. This is before Luther Campbell became like this, Miami, I'm you Miami guy. Like, they were just rap. I got some more fireworks, you guys. I love fireworks. I don't want to put them off myself, but I love it when other people are doing that. Yeah, Move Something. Love that song. I can't really sing it right now because it's got a lot of bad words in it, but that's cool. Ed D says No Vaseline. That's actually a Ice Cube song. Billy Joel, interesting call there. Billy Joel, even though I don't like him very much, he's had a lot of hits. Stevie Wonder too. Steely Dan, they're good. I don't know if they're the greatest, but they're good. Their first drummer was Chevy Chase, by the way. Nirvana was pretty good, absolutely. They had 3 records. Well, 4 if you count Unplugged. They had Bleach, they had Nirvana, and they had In Utero, plus Unplugged. And I guess that other greatest hits record, but that didn't really matter. That was Dave putting that together. We should dedicate. Canoe Man says we should dedicate 30 minutes of every drain to JGT singing the hits. Oh man, if I could just sing some NWA, man. Oh, here's the thing though. For me though, let's Easy E, Easy Does It in '89. That was as good as NWA for me. For me. So I'd be rapping that, and it wouldn't make any sense. But here's a little gangster, short in size, T-shirt and Levi's is his only surprise. Just kidding, man. I wouldn't do that. Canoe Man says Nirvana were the Beatles of their generation. I don't agree with that, but Nirvana was good. What about Van Morrison? Bone Thugs and Harmony. They're good. I don't think they have quite the catalog to make them a great American artist, but they're good. And by the way, Eazy-E was the producer behind that whole thing. Bone Thugs was his idea. Please sing NWA. Is there any part of that song I could sing? Anyone? Gangsta, that's what they yelling. It's not about a salary. It's all about reality. Gangsta. Then they start cussing again. AU Taxman says, Jay about to start rapping real Compton City G's. I'm going to tell y'all something funny about Compton. Okay, so I listened to NWA a lot. Loved me some Eazy-E back in the late 80s and early 90s. Again, middle-class white dude, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I mean, what, you know? Driving a Buick Grand National, like, not street at all, but feeling like I was street. We end up going to Compton. Auburn plays Southern Cal in the Wooden Classic 1999 in Anaheim, which is nowhere near Compton. But I went out there, and my editor gave me like 3 days out there. So we flew out there, and this is during Thanksgiving. And it was me, Troy Johnson from the Columbus Ledger, and then Neil McCready who was at Mobile at the time. And I said, yo, I want to go to Compton. And Neil was like, nah, I don't really want to go. And then Troy was like, no, I'm cool with that. So we went out there, and we started just kind of rolling around Compton. Like 3 white dudes chilling from Alabama in a rental car. Like, this is not ideal. But so we go to Compton High School, and believe it or not, I don't know if they've changed this, but their mascot at the time was the Tar Babes, which I just thought was crazy. The Tar Babes. And Neil was like, yo, it says Home of the Tar Babes. What is that? And I was like, that's the name of that's their mascot. He was like, holy shit. And I was like, I didn't even think anything of it. So I better not finish the story. But anyway, we went to Compton and we had a good time, and Neil got nervous. And I was not nervous. Why would I be nervous? I listened to Eazy-E. I loved NWA. I'd be fine. Really, I was probably being a little bit naive, but we just didn't. Yeah. I was really happy to be there, though. And I listened to NWA a lot as a youngster, and I was glad to have gone to Compton. I'll just say that. AU Taxman says, did David Hamilton show you around? So we talked to David Hamilton before that. David Hamilton was from Compton. I don't think he went to Compton High School, though. Let me see what happened. Let me look this up. I talked to David Hamilton several times after he left. Oh, shit, he did go to Compton High. I didn't realize that. So when I was talking to David Hamilton, I talked to him beforehand, and he told me, you got to go by Compton High. I didn't know he had gone there, but he told us to go there. Oh, the game's over? Is it over? Yeah, I think it's over. Because the House of Pain looks like they've pulled one off here. They look really happy. And David Price is out for the season? For real? Late B says, Jay rented a car with switches. Nah, I didn't really. This game must be over. I'm going to go ahead and click this off. You guys tell me how it's going. What was I talking about? I know we were talking about Compton. Oh, David Hamilton. So he told us to go by Compton High School. I didn't realize he had gone there. And then when we came back, I said, he's like, well, how did it go? And I was like, nah, it went well. He's like, what did you see? Like, what was your memory of it? And I was like, well, we went by this one place that said Vadio on it, and I was kind of wondering what that was. He goes, oh, dude, Vadio is some dudes you don't want to be hanging out with. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you better be lucky you hadn't seen any Vadio folks because they might have come after you. I was like, shit. Okay, well, it would have been fine. It would have been totally fine. Canoe Man says, yes, David Price opted out. Stinks, man. He's a good player. He's a good player. Another thing that happened on that trip to Los Angeles, we went looking for a Chupacabra. There was a rumor going around there was a Chupacabra at the Angels Stadium in Anaheim. I don't know if you guys know this, but a Chupacabra is believed to be like this animal that's like, like half coyote, half lizard, maybe, like just kind of scary. And we thought there might have been one in Anaheim, so we went looking for him at the Angels Stadium, and we think we may have found him in a trash can because there was some rustling in a trash can as we approached. But it ended up, I don't know. It may have been a Chupacabra, may have not. I think Troy and I took off, and then Courtney took off too. Love the Cat says the band is a great American band. They had an album cover shot in. You need to kind of rephrase that. They had an album cover shot in Alabama. Is that possible? Let's see. Ed D says learn a lesson from the easy. Stay in your place. And don't step to real Mother G's. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's not really what I took from Easy, but that's cool. I mean, maybe you took that from him. Love the Cats. Hornatius says this is for the G's and the Hustlers. All right, sweet. I love G's and Hustlers. I was pretty fired. Seriously, though, man, I mean, I think I've said this on the show before, but I'm going to bring it up again. I mean, I thought enough of Eazy-E to go to his grave, which is in Whittier, California. And we were staying in Orange County somewhere, like Dana Point or wherever we were down there, Irvine. I think Auburn was practicing at UC Irvine. And so it was like 30 miles away. And I went up there, and his grave is not where it's supposed to be. Like, it used to be in a different place, and it's been moved. And I was able to get the updated location, so I went, and I actually sat there for like 30 minutes on the morning of January 1st, 2014. Hoke thought I was totally full of shit. He was like, no, you're not really going there. I was like, oh, I really am. And I just wanted to thank Eazy-E for like seriously, like he was an important person for me. I didn't know him, never met him. I just listened to his raps and I saw his interviews, and I don't know, man. He just really connected with me. I liked him. I thought he was a really cool guy. He had been a gangbanger early in his life, and then he kind of straightened up and he became like a record producer because that's what he wanted to do. And Bone Thugs was his thing, and he did some rapping too, although, as you know, Dre had to do a lot of dubbing to kind of get him sounding good, but I'm the dope man. Yeah, boy, I wear corduroy. That's it, man. That's it. When Eazy was the dope man in that song, absolutely. I love Eazy-E. He's awesome. I was really concerned in the movie that they were gonna portray him as a dick because it was like Dre and Cube were the ones writing that, right? So I was like, oh, they're gonna shit on him, but they didn't. They didn't at all. They didn't at all, and that was good. I would have gotten really upset if they had. And I kind of went into that film like thinking, don't do it, man. But for me, it's always like the number one rap for Eazy-E would be off Easy Does It. It's like, easily I approach the microphone because I ain't no joke. Tell your mama to get off of my tip. I got no time to give her my tick. I'm going to hold it and walk across the stage. And if you mess up, I'm going to get my gauge and unload the barrel and laugh. That's about as far as I can go on that one. I know. I'm glad to see you guys like Eazy-E, man. I kind of felt alone. Felt alone on that sometimes. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Loved Eazy-E. I don't know why we started talking about NBA. Oh, great American bands. Yeah, NWA, definitely. Talking about the band earlier. Now, I don't know as much about the band. Obviously, I know the song The Wait was a great song. And I know they have some other ones that are awesome that I'm just not familiar with. I know Robbie Robertson is one of them, but I thought Robbie Robertson, is he Canadian? Let's go to the big board on that one. You guys, I'm sure you guys know this before I do. Yeah, Robbie Robertson's Canadian. We can't even claim him. He's from Toronto. Same place as Rush. We can't claim them either. Sucks, man. Chaz Music says, watch the HBO series The Defiant Ones. I did, man. I was watching it like as it came out. Like living on every word. Absolutely. Because prior to that, dude, I was a little bit down on Dre, right? Because I felt like Dre was kind of a dick. Because when NWA broke up, I mean, Dre was one of the last ones out of NWA, I think, because Cube was out first, and then he started in the whole, like, he wanted to put it on wax, I guess, but he was still talking a lot of shit about NWA, and I was not happy about that. And then Dre was a little bit late, but I always felt like Dre was kind of down on Easy, and that pissed me off, but I don't know, maybe I was wrong about that. Notorious B.I.G. Man, I can't pick between B.I.G. and Tupac. I mean, I know that's East-West, but what now? Administrative assistant's asking if I'm okay. I'm okay, definitely, but I'm not great. I'm a little bit bombed. But Robbie Robertson is from Canada, so we can't claim him. So all of a sudden, the band starts kind of, I don't know, man. That falls away a little bit. Let's see. Chaz Music says the relationship between Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine and so much more. Dude, I mean, it's a great one. My wife watched it with me too. I laughed out loud when he was talking about Eminem. I mean, it was just like, and Eminem, yeah, he had to be careful, man. Eminem, he's a good rapper. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I don't think he's the greatest, but he's good. And he had to be careful. I don't think he could afford to have been ingenuine after the Vanilla Ice bullshit. And I don't think he was. So, good for him. Whatever. And then also, I didn't realize at the time, because the DOC, who was good in the early 90s on his own merit, I didn't realize he had been in an accident. And that was the reason why he didn't rap anymore. That his voice was messed up. That was kind of crazy. Canoe Man says, for example, anyone of a certain age can quote every last word of Ice Ice Baby regardless of if they admit it or not. That's pretty true. I can't say that I know every word, but I know a lot about it. That came out in 90. That was in the summer, I guess, fall of 90. It's a pretty big deal at the time. Prince and the Revolution. Prince, obviously, from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Prince Rogers Nelson, his real name. The problem is that Prince is kind of his own thing. And the Revolution was kind of if and or but, right? But outstanding. He was really, really good. The thing about Prince, though, he could do everything. He could play. He could write. He could produce. He was good at everything. And there haven't been many people through the course of musical history who could do all that. Not many. He's an absolute beast. And I think he's actually underrated somehow. Like, he sold 1 billion records and everybody wanted to see him live, and he had his own little spot there at Paisley Park. I mean, he had done everything possible. And I still think he's underrated. In fact, I remember arguing with my dad. My dad's a big music guy. He's a little bit older than I am. We were arguing about the greatest rock acts, and we were kind of coming through. We were trying to list them. This wasn't just American. This was all time. And I argued that Prince was 4th on that list of all time, and he wasn't feeling it. And I tried to explain to him that he was basically the Buddy Holly of his generation. Because Buddy Holly, you guys don't know this, but except you older folks, he was a really good singer until he died in 1957. But he was really good. Player, musician, writer, producer. He could do it all. Just like Prince. Ed Darby says James Brown, really good. Leonard Skinner, pretty damn good. Agreed. Know a lot of Leonard Skinner songs. Yeah, know a lot of Prince songs. Ironically, my favorite is Pop Life. It's my favorite Prince song. Hardly anybody knows it. It's off Around the World in a Day. 85, 86. Pop Life. Everybody needs a thrill. Good stuff. The Beach Boys. Brian Wilson, incredible. AU Taxman brings that up. Tremendous group. Lots and lots and lots and lots of hits. Just tons of hits. What do they have? Maybe 30 chart hits? Maybe? And I mean, if you're just talking about chart hits, you got to talk about Janet Jackson and Madonna. Tons and tons and tons. James Brown says ain't no damn. Hornation says James Brown ain't no damn group. Fair enough. Good point. And the thing is that Prince did a lot of his work by himself, right? The whole Revolution thing was that was just Around the World in a Day and Under the Cherry Moon, and that's probably it, really, for the Revolution. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm just out here talking by myself. Ain't no big deal. I like doing it. I'm afraid to do it. Digital Underground, Humpty Dance. All right, stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I know what's up, yo. Oasis is the greatest American band. Shut your mouth. Oasis is from Manchester United, or from Manchester, England, and they're Manchester City fans, so they're bad people. Turds. Absolute turds. Fleetwood Mac. Can we claim Fleetwood Mac? We get Stevie Nicks and we get Lindsey Buckingham, I think. We do not get Mick Fleetwood. We do not get Christine McVie, and we don't get John McVie either. So I don't know if we got anything here. I don't think we get them. We do get Lindsey Buckingham. So we get 2/3, 2/5. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Absolutely. We get the full Red Hot Chili Peppers. They're good. Wish I had seen them play. Didn't. I got pretty damn close to their asking price to come to Transylvania University in 1990. Well, it would have been the spring of 91. This was when they were doing Mother's Milk. They had not come up with Blood Sugar Sex Magic had not come out yet. And the price for their show, I think, was $20K. And I had raised $15K and I couldn't get any further. So they didn't come. And also the soccer coach wasn't going to let us have the stage on the soccer field. So it kind of fell apart. Doobie Brothers, Chad's Music says, love the Doobie Brothers. Number one when it comes to yacht rock, but I'm not sure that they're number one overall when you're considering Prince, NWA, Van Halen. Canoe Man says, the older I get, the more I appreciate the Peppers. They're pretty damn good whether you're young or old, in my opinion. Love the Cat says, Alabama has more hits than all these damn bands. Alabama, Song of the South, baby. Good group. Tremendous group. Why's my YouTube, my Twitter blowing up here? Got some breaking news from CNN here. With pubs in England reopening, many fear that the heady mix of alcohol and loosened restrictions could prove disastrous. I'm not even going to weigh in on that. Oh, Pocket Watch. So you bring up something that rings a bell here. So he says Red Hot Chili Peppers always puts on a great show. Them at Woodstock was quite epic. Absolutely. They continued to play at Woodstock 94 and 99, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I was watching the Rage Against the Machine set from Woodstock 99, which is insane. That's a great group at the peak, I think, at their peak. And like Killing in the Name of, like the last 30 seconds of that song, like when he's like, F you, I won't do what you tell me or whatever, and they're like burning the flag, which I'm not really a big fan of, but it's not me doing it. And just Tom Morello going off and Zach De La Rocca going off and like whatever it was, 150,000 people there. Unbelievable. Like if there was one place I could ever be where I could insert myself to a place where I had never been, I would say Rage Against the Machine at Woodstock 99 front row would probably be it for me. I mean, I just don't think, for me, musically, it would ever get better. I don't think it could ever get better. I love Rage. They were at their peak. That's like the perfect song for the perfect place at that time. Unbelievable, man. It's funny. Tom Morello's been smacking trolls around left and right on Twitter, too. I don't know if you guys follow him, but he loves going after people. Tom Morello has a low tolerance for bullshit, and he's also a very, very bright individual, and he's very rich. So he's just kind of fun on Twitter. I didn't realize that Lindsey Buckingham was from America. I wasn't sure who we were going to be able to claim there. He's from Palo Alto, since he's born in Palo Alto. So we got him. 100%. About that. See, I'm trying to understand what you guys are talking about here. I missed it. Pocket Watch says, not so sure you'd want to be front row then, but it was nice to be closer to the front and center of middle of it all. AU Taxman says, Rage Against the Machine played Sloss Furnace in the summer of 96, and I missed it. Oh, dude. That would be awesome, too. Rage Against the Machine, I wish they were playing, like, for real right now. They were supposed to play at Coachella this year, but it got canceled. And I really, really want to go see them play. And my daughter, like, I'm not saying that she loves Rage. She doesn't, but I think she would be down with it if it was, like, at a Coachella or if it was at, like, Hangout where she could see some of the other shit that she wants to see, like Lana Del Rey or Post Malone, or she listens to Tame Impala a lot, which, you know, it's kind of mellow. And then she listens to a lot of like current day rap, which I don't listen to anymore. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's ground we've already hit, you know. Whether you're talking about NWA, Easy, Cube, you know, Snoop Dogg, I don't know. I feel like we kind of covered it. I don't know. What man's opinion? I feel like I should take another hit here. I do. I love just kind of babbling with you guys. I loved being part of you guys jumping in on the chats. Canoeman says, please sing in Jay Jacobs' voice. Can I even do that? I don't even know if that's a possibility. I don't know. Could Jay Jacobs even sing any of this stuff? I mean, I don't know what Jay would listen to. Jay is not a oh shit, I know who's calling in too. This is somebody who's not from close. Hey caller, welcome to the show. How you doing?
What's going on, JG? This is Leif.
What up, Leif? How you been, bro?
It's been a rough week, but just glad it's the weekend, glad it's 4th of July, and you know.
I guess you're.
Hey, you're talking about.
Are you in the car?
I am in the car.
Word.
Drive. My son started crying at the fireworks. So
Oh hell yeah!
play a little bit.
Hey Leif, I'm gonna drink some of this. I'm gonna drink what's White Dog right now. I want it because I want to know what it tastes like. So you can see that this is a Buffalo Trace product. It hasn't been in barrels, so it's just clear. It's not got that brown color to you, that copper color to you. I'm gonna see what happens here. This is 125 proof. Oh man, that's pretty hot, bro. All right, here we go. Wow, it's really nutty.
It's a different. It's not what you expect.
Oh, it's hot too. Shit, man. It's tearing me up, bro.
I put a little bit of water in it, and I can sip on it, but I don't know.
No, it ain't bad at
A
all.
whole hell of a lot of it.
It ain't bad at all. You just kind of have to be ready for it because it'll absolutely punch you in the face, man.
Yeah, that's what they get. In distillery talk, that's what they call the low wine.
Oh, word. Okay.
There's high wine and low wine.
High line and low line. So what was bogging down your week there, bro?
Man, I don't know. It just just the world just sort of seems, I don't know, it just finally got to me. It just, everything just sort of seemed negative, and it just really doesn't feel like school's gonna start on time, and it just seems like everything's gonna go right back to the way it was in the shitter, and just I run my own company.
We didn't lose him, did we?
Stuff
You still there, bro?
just sort of got me down. Yeah.
All right. Now, I understand, dude. I've turned off cable news. I don't watch any news anymore. I don't want to know.
I took it off YouTube TV for me. It's not even on my guide anymore.
It's just bad.
Yep. But hey, Rage Against the Machine, they were going to do a stadium tour this year. The closest place to me they were going to be was St. Louis, but the get-in price was $150, and I thought that was a big asking price for a bunch of communists that played rock and roll.
Stop, man. They're just some rock and rollers, dude.
But they are very far left. Like, they would have been, like, I mean, it doesn't bother me their politics. I mean, I think they take up for a lot of little people that needed it. But yeah, I mean, they would have been so huge if they, probably weren't protesting for small Indian groups in Mexico back in the 90s. But hey, more power to them.
Well, that's kind of, I mean, their name is Rage Against the Machine. Like, you expect them to be angry, Yeah.
So here's a question: what, like, JG back in about the mid '90s?
Word.
And you came back. Someone came to you and said, "Hey, in the year 2020, Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine is going to teach a master class of how to teach." How to play the guitar, or the fact that Ice Cube would be in, like, family films. Which one would have blown your mind more?
Ice Cube for sure, man. I never would have seen that coming.
I think so too.
Yeah, Tom Morello's he's kind of a different guitarist. I mean, he just does weird shit with his guitar, right? That's what makes him great.
Yeah.
Whereas, Ice was like such a hardcore guy, and then he plays like this nice guy in family films is kind of a weird switch. But hey, man, you do what you got to do for money. I get it.
hey, I mean, and also Snoop Dogg has a show with Martha Stewart. I mean,
oh shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, I remember when, like, Charles Heston was going so hard against Ice-T, and you're just like, yeah, now he plays the cop on TV, and it's just like, I guess it's kind of what it kind of gives us more of that joke than, like, Back to the Future when they talk about Ronald Reagan was president, and and Doc Brown started laughing. I guess that's the same thing. I guess if someone would have told us back in the mid-'90s what all was happening now, we would have probably done the same thing.
Yeah. It's crazy how things change over time, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna drink some more of this White Dog.
Do you ever break out any of that special stuff?
No, we're saving that for a special day, bro. But I'm drinking some of this White Dog right now. It's tearing my ass up, but it tastes good.
Seriously, man, don't drink too much of it, man. It's put in a small bottle for a reason.
Oh, word. Okay.
It'll get you going there. Hell, it's basically legal moonshine, so
it's hot, dude.
Yeah.
It's really, really hot. All right, Leif. Appreciate you, brother, man.
Hey, y'all be good.
I'll see you.
Bye.
There he is, Leif B., my man from Davis County, Kentucky, who hooked me up with the waffins that we had last week, the White Dog we're drinking right now, which is the Buffalo Trace, like basically their base mash. 125 proof. This is what they would put into their barrels and let it sit for a while. And also hooked me up with some actual staves. So when you put whiskey into a barrel, you put some staves in there. They're like pieces of wood that have been maybe from a cooperage. that have like a certain smell on them, I guess. I don't know. They're like oaked or whatever. You stick those in there, and that's what makes the bourbon. You leave it in there for a while. And those staves, they smell so good to me. He actually sent a few to me, and I smell them because they smell so good. I don't know. It's weird. Let's see something. Let's see. Forrest B said Wind Lakes just had a hell of a fireworks show. I said, word, Forrest. I've heard it. I could hear it way over there. Wind Lakes is this way for me. There's no doubt. AU Taxman says, anybody watch Hamilton on Disney Plus? Was incredible. Hey, I've never seen it. I have not seen it, and I probably won't see it because I'm not on Disney Plus, but that's a good idea. Canoe Man says, the White Dog is a nice change of pace. 125 proof. That's probably not the good stuff to be drinking this late at night, but it goes down hot, but it tastes good. Let's see. Somebody asked me, love the Cats. Wanted me to sing Automobile, which is an NWA song on their second record, 100 Miles and Running. I don't know if I can sing that. I don't think I can do this. I've never actually tried to sing in Jay Jacobs' voice before. Hey, guys. I know you're not satisfied, but are you good? You don't have to front on me, dear. So why don't you give that kitty here? I can't do it. I can't do it. If you be good to me, then I'll be good to you. And we'll both ride home in my automobile. Nah, that's not how Jay would sing it. I was trying my best, though, bro. Oh, man. It's July 4th, you guys. I mean, everybody's out partying. And I'm drinking White Dog on a video stream with you guys. Love you guys. But, you know. Why don't you front on me, dear? Canoe Man says, please sing Enter Sandman in Gus's voice. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, if you want me to, I'll give it a shot. Hold on, I gotta get into Gus's like frame of mind here. All right, there's no doubt, Christy. Exit light. Enter night. He would be like nonplussed by the whole thing. Exit light. Enter night. I got to think of the song. Because I've been thinking about Automobile here. Take my hand. We're off to Never Never Land. I mean, he would just be nonplussed by it. He wouldn't be able to get into it, you know? Canoe Man says, we're partying and celebrating again on the brain. Thanks, JG. Love the Cat says, I'm dead AF. Don't front on me, bitch. No, no, dear. I'm sorry. Don't front on me, dear. Why don't you bring that kitty here? Nah, he wouldn't be able to do that. Nor would Gus. Surely Gus has not heard Metallica, right? So I will tell you this. So at Media Day, like 3 or 4 years ago, I think Brandon Marcello had written a story. He was like trying to get to know Gus or whatever, because it's really hard to do, obviously. And he had asked Gus, like, what's your favorite, like, music to listen to? And Gus said the Cars, which I listen, man, I love the Cars now. I don't necessarily love them as much now, but in the 80s, I was all up on the Cars because I felt like, as an ugly person, I'm a cross-eyed goober. So Rick Ocasek, who's the lead singer of the Cars, he was banging this like model named Paulina Porniskova, who was insanely hot, and he's ugly as shit. Like, seriously, guys, like he looks like a donkey. Like, I mean, he's ugly, and I was like, yo, man, if he is as ugly as he is, and she's as hot as she is, like, we should all love him. And I love the Cars because of that. And their music was good too. They were pretty popular at the time. So where am I going with this? I don't even remember where the hell I'm going with this. Why the hell did I bring up the Cars? What does it have to do with anything? Oh, no, because Gus said he loved the Cars. So Gus, at Media Days like 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, hey, and I saw a story that Brandon wrote that you said you like the Cars. And he's like, yeah. I was like, I dare you, I dare you to name 2 songs by the Cars. I don't believe you. And he says, Panorama. I was like, that's not a song I know. That's a record. That's an album. But shit, it turns out that was actually a song. And he goes, Shake It Up. I was like, that's not a song either, but that's a record. But it was a song too. Shit, I got to give him credit. Like, he actually did pick out 2 songs. He may know the Cars. That's all I can conclude from that, is that Gus may have listened to the Cars at some point. I don't think he's a music guy. And I do want to say, I've said it on the show before, but when I jumped, long story short, I did, for a very brief period of time, drive his BMW. Is it an i3? Is that what it's called? I got to look this up. BMW i3. No, hell no, it's not an i3. What is that? I don't know what kind of car it was. You guys probably know better than I do. Oh, i8. Was it an i8? Yeah, it was an i8. Excuse me, guys. So I jumped into his i8, and when I turned it on, it was on the religious rock and roll channel. So like, I think it was called The Message. You know, it sounded like popular music, but it was Christian music. So that's what he listens to for reals, I think. DHXX. I'll just call you DHX. DXH, excuse me, says i8. That is correct. I have a picture of it. Hold on. I just want to prove it to you guys. I bet it was a long time ago, though. Shit, I can't even imagine. Would it have been 2018, I think. See if I can find it here. Oh, shit. No, wifey, was she with me or no? Dadgummit, I can't remember when it actually went down. Must have been 18. And Gus was like all trying to like not let me do it. And then I'd already worked it out with Christy. And Christy was like, listen, my name is on the deed, so I'm good. I'll tell you, the person whose name is on the deed tells you where you can go, and I say you can do it. I was like, shit, okay. I don't have the picture in front of me. Sorry, guys. Anyway, that's what he listens to The Message in real life. But he says he liked the Cars, and that's fine. We had a few other, let's see, Dope Man and Gus's voice. First of all, there's no way Gus has any idea who NWA is, much less the Dope Man. All right, Christy, I'll say it. Dope man. That's what they're selling. It's not about a salary. It's all about reality. And you stupid. Oh, I better not go with that. Chip says Gus Bot has had Spotify embedded since version 1.0. Evan S says, what's with the button down and tie, JG? Great question, Evan. I was just trying to bring a little bit of professionalism to this show, which is not very professional, to be honest with you. And I notice a lot of streamers don't wear. Obviously, they're pretty calm and relaxed. A lot of them are doing like video games and stuff like that. So I just thought, hey, man, I'll just wear a button-down shirt and a tie, and we'll do it. I've been doing it every single show, I think, since the very beginning, if not very early on. And just been going with it like that. I don't know. I kind of like it. You say the button down, though. A lot of times, some of my shirts don't have a button down. Oh, I hear some more fireworks. Word. But this one does. Alpha Tiger says, at Tate. I think that's me. Well, my dog's barking at the fireworks now. Which current Auburn coach, any sport assistants allowed, has the hottest wife? Whew, goodness. We got to think about that now. Well, let's see. A couple that come to mind that have just very attractive wives. BP, obviously, his wife's very pretty. Chad Pruitt's wife, Tanya's really pretty. You guys know I'm a fan of Christy Malzahn. She's wonderful, wonderful woman. Who else we got over there? I mean, there's so many. I mean, and I mean, if you're talking about former though, you said current though, current Auburn coach. I don't know, man. I mean, isn't Christy great? I think Christy's great. Christy's a lot of fun. Christy Malzahn's a fun person. Very happy, very up tempo. She's the positive in things. It's weird that like people come up to me, my friends that are Bammers. They're like, man, Christy Malzahn, she's so weird, dude. Did you hear all that shit she said on the internet? I'm like, she didn't say that stuff. No, I saw it on YouTube, dude. I was like, nah. That shit was made up, man. Hornatius says, I'm getting Ole Miss drunk. Wait, what now? Chip says all this talk about thugs. Literally nobody's talking about thugs. Got me thinking it's time for some pug. I ran his ass out of here earlier, bro. Canoe Man says, please sing Under the Bridge in Bill Clinton's voice. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry. That's the best I can do, bro. Drunk Call Christy. Oh, that was Canoe Man asking Under the Bridge, by the way. Love the Cats. Hornatius is Drunk Call Christy. There's no chance I would do that. No chance. I actually thought about drunk calling Gus on the show like 2 months ago. I would never do that either. He would get mad at me. Evan S. says, can we get a live stream for the rundown? So in theory that works. In practicality it doesn't because they don't have internet. They don't have public internet at Voodoo. And we would need, it would just add a lot of complexity to it to do that live video wise. We would need like a different camera. We would need a computer. We would need a good internet. And so we're not really having all that. Chaz Music says, didn't Gus say something at Media Days about having ABBA on his iPod? Dude, is that real? Oh, you're making that up. How would he even know who ABBA is? By the way, I can name somebody in ABBA. It's a true story. Agneta Falskog. Get you some. Look it up. Agnetha Falskog is a Swedish singer, songwriter, musician, and actress. She achieved success in Sweden after the blah, 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 and reached international stardom as a member of the pop group ABBA. Fuck yeah, I did it. Hell yeah. She's cute too, man. She's got to be one of the cutest 70-year-olds you'll ever find. If she wants to come over here to Alabama, she appears to be divorced. So if she wants to come to Alabama, she's welcome to stay here. Assuming that administrative assistant's good with that. Alpha Tiger says Gus jams to Reba McEntire. There's certainly worse people to jam to than Reba McEntire. She's a cutie. I don't know her songs, but it's not really my thing. Canoe Man says, do not drunk call Christy. However, really should schedule her to be on the brain drain early in the show at some point. So last summer we did the media could come over to Malzahn's house and hang out. And I don't give a shit about Gus. I mean, I like Gus. He's cool, but he's cool with me anyway, but I'm not worried about hanging out with him. So it was me, Jay Lee, administrative assistant. It was one other person. Who the hell would that have been? It wasn't Jay Lee's wife or ex-wife. shit. Oh, it was Jason Caldwell. Shit, my bad. It was Jason Caldwell from ITAT. And we were hanging out with Christy. And I was trying to negotiate with her that she would write a column for us at auburnsports.com, just kind of like about maybe the week before or just thoughts about being a coach's wife or whatever. And now I don't hang out with Christy a ton, so I can't read her like straight up, but she was like, I'm not bothered by that. I would consider that. I was like, okay. Just, well, you got to run that by Gus first. And I was like, oh, shit. I wasn't expecting you to say that. I mean, I kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. So at some point later in the night, administrative assistant was still with me because she's a baller. My wife's a baller. And we got Christy and Gus together. And my wife's like, hey, Christy said that she wouldn't be opposed to doing a column for us. What do you think? And Gus is like, you mean a column for like the website? And she was like, yeah, kind of. And he was like, nah, I don't think that'd be a good idea. Damn it. I felt like Christy was okay with it, but Gus was not. So let's see. Canoe Man says there's no way that Christy and JC, meaning Jason Caldwell, did not get along royally. Honestly, yeah, she likes Jason. Jason's a really, really good dude. Jason's awesome. You guys know how I feel about Jason Caldwell. He's like a brother to me. He's even closer with Brian. And I mean, I love Jason Caldwell. He's one of my 10 favorite people I've ever met in my entire life. So I got nothing bad to say about Jason Caldwell. But I think Christy likes me and my wife and Jeffrey Lee more than Jason. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Gus may like Jason more. I don't know. But I feel like Christy has kind of a I guess a sassy side of her. And I that's more like me and my wife and Jeffrey. Whereas Jason's like this. Jason's a really nice dude. He's a nice person. He's a nice human being. I think he's more like Gus. Pocket Watch says she just used the run it by Gus as a way to nicely tell you hell no. I think there's some truth to that. I do think there's some truth to that. Absolutely. It's good shit there. Oh, I got a pug in the house. Hey, I was telling them about the time. The time that Christy said she would do a column, but then she said Gus had to say okay. And then Gus was like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. And then they were saying on here that actually she had just told me that because she knew Gus would say no. It's like a nice way of saying no. Oh, you think that's true? Ah. Damn you. Oh. Hey, come here, bud. Come here, bud. Here. Oh, look what I got here, you guys. Look what I got here. I got the pug, Maverick Tate. Maverick, can you say hi? Can you say hi to the peoples? What up, bro? How you doing? Can you say hi? Say, what's up, bro? What's up? How you doing, man? Do you want some? Are you crazy? He looks crazy. All right, there's the pug, you guys. Maverick. Hey, Cordy.
You can last too long.
This is 125 proof.
Okay.
Uh-oh, I got a call coming in. Is this you? Hey, caller, welcome to the show. How you doing?
What's up, JG?
Word, who I got? This is flying around?
Flying around. Yep.
Thank you for your super chat earlier, brother.
Oh, man, no problem.
Now,
Happy
listen,
4th.
I know that you work over in there in enemy territory, but do you live in enemy territory?
No, I live in Hoover.
Oh, word, you're safe over there.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Although it sounds like a
Where's
war
the food
zone
at?
out here right now.
Why, just fireworks going off and whatnot?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Beautiful.
Well, so what's been going on with you flying around?
I just had one question, and you've missed it because I've I posted it twice, and of course you
Shit,
you
I'm
get to
sorry.
talking, and no, it's
I
fine,
get to
it's
talking.
fine. So how about, are we going to see a comeback, or are we going to, or has money and fame too much?
You mean Cam in New England?
Yes.
I wonder how, is he 100% physically? That's my question right now.
I don't know. I've seen some of his Twitter videos about how Carolina did him, and he's all salty about it. So, do you think he's for real, or do you think? I mean, I seen how he, when he got to Auburn, he studied the playbook. He was relentless then. But now, even though Carolina cut him, and now he wants to, show the world he still has it. How do you think, with your psychology major? Do you think do you think he's still got it, or do you think, what do you think?
I think he's still got it. I don't think he's still got it for a long-term thing, but I think he can get 2 or 3 years really good for the Patriots, and I bet you that's what Bill Belichick's shooting for. Give me 3 good years, and I'm good with the money that I put into you. And
Okay.
I mean, I love Cam Newton. I think he's a really good football player.
Yeah.
Dog or need food?
But I mean, is he going to be long-term? No, I don't think so. He's just been hit too many damn times, but he's had that shoulder issue. He's gotten over that. I bet he's going to be really good for 2 or 3 years, and I'm happy to see it, man, because he's an interesting cat now. He's definitely different, but he's a good dude.
Okay. Do you think at one point during this whole thing where, he was a free agent, do you think Belichick ever called Saban and was like, man, what do I do? I watched Stidham. I watched y'all play 2018, and I don't know about, I got Cam as a free agent. What do you think? Do you think he ever called Saban?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think he's got his own dudes to kind of assess that shit for him. And plus, he's really good on his own right for doing that stuff. So I don't think he has to get with Saban. But he would get with Saban if he felt like he needed to. But not now.
Yeah. I got you. I mean, I know, but it's. I know he's done a lot with, receivers that's kind of messed up in the league, and but the quarterback issue with Tom Brady leaving, that's a whole new ball game. So.
Yeah, it really messes things up for them. But Cam Newton's pretty damn good, dude. He's a good player, and if he can get some protection, he's a damn good player. Really good.
I think he'll have the protection. I'm just, I guess I'm just like any other Auburn fan. I just want to see it. I want to see if he still got it, and if he uses what Carolina did to him, to his advantage.
Word. I'm happy to see him, though. I mean, I'm glad he's going to an organization that actually wins a lot,
Yeah.
Instead of the Panthers, which is like, oh, they're going to be good someday, and it's like, whatever. The Patriots have some players,
Right. Yeah. Especially offensive line.
Word. That's what he needs, right?
Yeah. And one final question. I was curious. I know you was talking about. God, it's been a few weeks ago. You were talking about who's the SEC network chick that's, I can't even think of her name right now.
There's so many.
I think I was the blonde that everybody talks about. I think you were talking about her a few weeks ago, and I was trying to call in, and then after I seen the segment, I was like, oh shit, he was talking about her.
Jen Brown?
No, the SEC network. The blonde that's so hot that everybody's.
Oh yeah. Josh Etheridge's wife. Forget her name though.
What about
her name?
Jill Arrington? You remember her?
Oh yeah, are you kidding? Yeah, she's the hottest chick I ever saw in my life live.
That's exactly I know what's her name is hot, but I mean, when Jill Arrington ran CBS Sideline, I was like, man, she's like the finest woman in the world.
Dude,
so did you ever get to meet her?
Yeah, hell yeah, I did. I had lunch with her, University of Georgia, and she was the hottest woman I've ever seen in my life, face to face. Unbelievable, like 10 out of like a million out of 10. Like she's the hottest ever.
Her eyes are just like mesmerizing, right?
Dude, there's nothing about her that's not mesmerizing. She's just the hottest chick you've ever seen in your life, and she was great at what she did too. I don't know why she had to back off.
Why did she back off? Did she have kids or?
I mean, she has a kid, but I think her daughter was like 6 or 7 or 8 at the time. Now she's like 16 or 17, so she's fine. Laura Rutledge.
Yeah,
Laura
weird.
Rutledge is the girl you're talking
what
about.
Happened with that?
You were talking about Laura Rutledge from the SEC Network.
Yes.
She's wonderful too. She's very, very good at what she does. She's married to a Bammer though.
She's wonderful. Yeah, she's wonderful, but she's no Joe Arrington.
Love the cats. Hornatius says Jill is a bunker 4. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Oh, come on. No.
That's bullshit.
Oh.
Hey, flying around.
JD, that's all I have.
All right. I appreciate you super chatting early and, of course, being part of the show all the time. You're a total badass, dude.
Yes, sir. Enjoy the 4th, and have a good one, man.
All right. Be good, bro. There he is. Flying around. Absolute beast. Calls in, I would say, 3 out of 4 shows? We love to have him. You love to see it. Hornatius again says Jill is a bunker 4. Get out of here, man. I know you're joking, but if she's anybody's 4, I want to see who the 10 is. Let's see. Canoe Man says, fun fact, Laura was an intern with Scout. When she was at University of Florida, asked Jason Caldwell about his thoughts on her. Okay. I will. Next time I see Jason, I'll ask about her. We love Jason, by the way. He's as good at people as you ever meet, man. He's just a really, really, really good dude. Alpha Tiger says, Tate telling his other callers that they're badasses makes me feel like less of a badass. Dude, flying around is awesome. I mean, Alpha, you're good too. You're awesome. He's also awesome. That's all. Administrative assistant brought up some popcorn and was like, Donger need food. I mean, that was a reference to 16 Candles. She thinks that I need to drink a little bit. Alpha, that's wrong, dude. He says David the Wizard is dating his right hand. Dude, David the Wizard has had his girlfriend on the or his girl on the show. There is no way he's dating his hand. He's dating a girl. I forget what her name is, but he's doing great. David the Wizard's absolutely slaying out there, and I'm sorry you're jealous. I don't know what all you're up to, but I mean, you may be doing really well for yourself. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, like, he's doing well, so don't be hating. I mean, obviously you got some game, bro. I mean, I'm sure you're doing well, one way or another. But don't be hating just because David the Wizard goes about it a different way, you know? Don't be hating. So I guess that's it for WAR Tampa. They got crushed in the TBT, and I guess that's it. That's the end of the story. It's a single elimination tournament, so I guess that's it. D Lucky says, "Don't be a hater, Alpha." Thank you. That's the right answer. Raven says, "Drink, JG." Of course. If you don't mind, I'm gonna drink some. I'm gonna drink some Allegiant though. This White Dog's 125 proof, man. That's gonna tear my ass up if I'm not careful. This Allegiant is 94 proof. That's a little bit better for me. Raven, thank you for super chatting, bro, and for being part of the show like every week. You're awesome. Down the hatch. By the way, my daughter, I got that South Alabama shot glass right here. Her college roommate is coming by she's going to actually stay here tomorrow. Her name is Cassie, and she is my daughter's. She's going to be my daughter's roommate at South, so she's going to come by here and hang out. They're going to hang out for like a day here in Montgomery, and she's going to stay here tomorrow night. So that's pretty cool. We're glad to have her. And she's not from Montgomery, so we're glad to host her and say, hey, welcome to our town, Montgomery, Alabama. What can we do for you? I don't know. Canoe Man says, be careful with the white dog, yo. Absolutely. That stuff will sneak up on you. 125 proof, dude. That's the hottest shit I've had on the show, right? That old Ezra 9-year might be hotter. That was hot as hell. And, of course, that larceny, which I'm never going to touch again. I might as well start fires with that shit. Yeah, I'm going to be careful with this white dog. We got to be real. And hell, Leif himself told me that. Raven says, you're the best, JG. Hey, man. I appreciate you being part of this show and for super chatting. You're like, you're a dual threat. Paul West, Paul W. says, War Tampa shooting threes like Auburn in 2019, except they missed most of them. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, not a great showing. I was thinking, so like Bryce, he put a lot of, I know he has teammates, but he put a lot of time into that, and it just falls flat. I know that's kind of a bummer. You're just like, shit, I feel like I got a good team, and we got this guy and that guy, and we got the kid from Wofford that hits threes, and we got Horace to play down low, and then you just get crushed, and you're like, shit, I was wrong. I guess this team's not great. Raven says, is there a COVID test waiting for the new roommate? What? We good, yo. She gonna stay up here. We're on the second floor of the headquarters here, and she's gonna stay up here on the second floor. That's where we put the VIPs. So yeah. Pocket Watch says Spencer was 0 for 2. Why did he take 2 shots from the 3-point line? Ay. BP4AU says, didn't Bryce hit 12 threes a couple weeks ago? It seems like that, right? Pocket Watch says he didn't have a good team because he had to run point. Yeah, that's not really his game, is it? Yeah. Bryce is he's a 2. He's a 2. He can do a little ball. He can do a little dribbling if he has to, but he's not really a point. I love the cat said, Ornacia says, we getting July 4th drunk, guys. I told my wife a few years ago, I was like, girl, we are never going to be home on July 4th again. Because all our friends are like at the lake or they're like at the club or whatever. And like 8 years ago, we decided we were going to stay home and it sucked. And so today, what do we do? We stayed home. And what happened? Hey, caller, welcome to the show. How you doing?
What up, JG?
Hey, what up, D-Lucky? How you been?
I'm good, man.
What's the latest?
4th of July.
Oh, happy 4th of July to you, too, because I've been drinking. I've probably been drinking more than you have, but I don't know that. I'm not trying to presume anything.
Well, I should say that's pretty presumptuous because I have a 19-year-old designated driver, baby. We've been getting it in today.
I got an 18-year-old designated driver, and I haven't been able to do anything with that yet.
It is beautiful, man. We had some friends invited us over for a socially distanced 4th of July, and she was debating whether she was going to go or not. And I was like, yeah, you got to go.
Yeah, hell yeah, you're going to go.
You're absolutely going to go.
So is she one? So, yeah. What's she been doing? Is she in college?
She is. Local junior college up here in North Alabama.
Word, okay.
She's done well. Yeah, she's done well.
It's awesome.
Got the President's List 4.0, so proud papa.
Damn, I'm not even there yet, bro, and I'm jealous.
Yeah, man. A little cheaper than all the other schools she was looking at before, so we'll take it.
What's been going on with you, bro?
Same old. Just work and try to stay safe and healthy.
Yeah, that's
enjoy the band conversation.
Yeah, I know. You brought up NWA as one of the great American bands, and you're right. They should definitely be up there. Although some people would argue that they weren't that awesome. They only really had, 2 records, but really one together, right?
Yeah, but, if you take all the offshoots and everything else that they spawned, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
No, absolutely.
In my opinion.
I mean, Eazy-E's a Hall of Famer. Ice Cube's a Hall of Famer. Dre's a Hall of Famer. Don't know if MC Ren and Yella are, but they're good too, right?
I should say Yella and Ren not, but still, for what they contributed to the group, they were worthwhile.
And yeah, I mean, I'm biased though, man. I listen to them so much, dude. I'm just biased. That's all.
I'm with you. I just want them, to be part of the conversation. I don't want folks to overlook the contributions.
And they were. And
yeah.
Is it weird? I mean, it's kind of been weird a little bit for me to see Ice Cube as like this, like feel good dad and like fucking films and stuff. It's been weird, but
it has been. I was watching Friday the other day, and that was kind of still his transition because he hadn't quite become like totally corporate movie superstar dude.
Yeah.
But it was funny to explain to my daughter like where he started out, and because she's seen like full movie star Cube, like she did not know America's Most Wanted, so it was different to explain that to her that how things went down between the groups and the split and everything else. So it's we all grow, we get better, and do different things. So not hating, proud of the dude.
Man, I love me some Friday, dude. But Chris Tucker carried that film, right? Well, him and Nia Long, because she was really hot.
He did. Oh, oof. Now you talking about Jill Arrington? Nia.
I wish I had met her.
Prime.
She's not a sideline reporter though, but I wish I had.
No. I just say can't find a way to work her in the conversation, but
Yeah, does she do anything now?
A couple items here and there. She was on what was that Showtime show?
The L
Can't
Word?
think of the name of it. No, it was with.
Wish I would have seen her on there. Dude, she's still really hot though.
Yeah, she is. She's had a couple of failed sitcom attempts.
Yeah,
nothing major.
Maybe she's not. Maybe she's just really hot, and she's not a great actress. I don't know.
She's all right. I mean, she has a good, her filmography is not bad. Just nothing popping today.
Word.
I mean, she's over 40.
D-Lucky. We're all over 40, man.
I get that. I'm just saying the roles are limited.
Oh, that's true. If you're not like Meryl Streep or some shit like that, yeah.
Yeah. It's that she's in between. She's not, she's not young enough to be the love interest. She's not old enough to be the mom. So, she'll be all right though.
I love me some Friday, dude. I love me some Friday. Oh, but the next one was shitty, so that sucked. But
yeah, they dropped off from there. They are not Godfather and Godfather 2, where the sequel was better than the original. So no concerns there.
Word. What are we going to do if there's no football this year, dude? D-Lucky, we're going to both be hating it if there's no football this year. God
It is not going
bless.
It is not going to be pretty. Yeah.
No.
I keep hoping that they can find a way to get everybody doing what they need to do so we can have a season. I just don't know what the world will look like if we go that long shut down again through the winter with nothing. I can't imagine.
I mean, it's like my thought is like, okay, so we don't have football in the fall. If that happens, we don't have football in the fall, but then we have basketball. But then it's like, oh shit, that's indoors. Is that going to be worse?
Yeah. If this baseball thing doesn't get off the ground, then we're hosed.
Totally hosed.
That's going to be baseball's going to be the true barometer. Because if they can manage to get a baseball season in, then they'll be able to justify getting a college and a pro football season in. If baseball cancels or stops, then we're done for.
Yeah, and NBA, it seems like there's a lot of people kind of backing out. No, I don't want to.
There are.
Yeah. Fuck.
But I don't even care about that part. I mean, they got to make whatever decisions they got to make. As long as the league still does their thing, then they got a viable option. But I mean, there was a guy who was, I was listening today. He's going to stay home because he's having a kid, and he would have had the kid during the off season. Probably planned it that way originally, and he's not going back. He's just like, nah, I'm done. I can't knock that.
No, you can't.
So I'm sure there'll be a few more people that are like that. Like I said, I'm being cautious, so I'm not going to knock anybody else who's being cautious in their life either. So.
Just for what it's worth, I wear a mask everywhere I go, bro. I don't want this virus, man.
Both. Me either.
I just don't want to run
Can't take a chance.
I got AFib, so I don't want to run the risk that it's going to mess me up. That's all.
I'm with you. And I hope that more folks realize that and go ahead and mask up. And it's better to be safe than sorry.
Word. That's how I feel about it.
We'll see.
All right, D-Lucky.
Bro, I just wanted to call and wish you a happy 4th. And as always, thank you for the brain drain and stay safe.
All right, I just gave you a bunch of punches in the air, man. That's how I feel about it.
Nice. I will watch that on the replay.
All right. D-Lucky, you behave yourself, bro.
All right, bro. You too.
See you, man.
Yeah, stay safe. All right. Peace.
There he is, D-Lucky. Absolute badass. I know Alpha Tiger gets upset when I say it about other people, but D-Lucky he's in that group. I can't lie about it. Canoe Man says, please ask D-Lucky what Bonnie does. I bet this is some kind of a Kornheiser joke. But I'm going to show you. I can show you Bonnie for reals. Oh, snap. There she is, Bonnie Bernstein. Former gymnast at University of Maryland, by the way. And also ESPN personality. Isn't she lovely? She's so talented at what she does. She was a great TV reporter. She's also a great fitness advocate. And obviously, former gymnast. She's as good as it gets. Mm-hmm. Well.
Wrap it up.
Oh, what have you got here? Hey, you know what these are? These are staves. Leif, my man Leif B, hooked us up with some staves they put in the barrels. They put a little, you can kind of hang them on the, they put a little thing in there. You kind of hold them in there, and they smell. Can you guys smell that? Oh, it smells so good. It smells like kind of like beef jerky. Administrative assistants had these out for the last few days, and she's like, you need to put them somewhere. But for me, it was just a reason to pick them up and smell them. I can't really taste it. That stuff sure smells good, Cordy. All right. Canoe Man says, yes, we can smell it. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Canoe Man says, ironically, the Bernie we were referring to is also a redhead. Hey, now. This is a Tony Kornheiser joke. I know it is. I don't listen to Tony Kornheiser, but I love him. Let's see what else we got. We got Jim Brown. What a lovely young lady. Melissa Stark. What a lovely. She's a great reporter. Shannon Spake. She does she does a lot of different stuff now. When I met her, she was an ESPN she was a NASCAR reporter. She does a lot of different stuff now. And there was some other stuff that we were going to do, but we ended up not doing it because we were like talking and drinking and stuff. But I was going to go through the Pro Football Focus offense and defense numbers too. I know you guys are going to be surprised to learn that Derek Brown was the highest rated defensive player on Auburn's team last year. You weren't surprised. I know you weren't. And that my guy, Jeremiah Denson, was number 2. I know you guys aren't surprised. But Tanner Dean coming in second. KJ Britt, downhill Britt. Hey, Cordy. What are the chances of when we go downstairs in a little while that I got another hot dog? Matt N says this for JG punching the air like Will Ferrell at the end of Old School. Ma, you want it? I got you. Ma, meatloaf. We want it now. Hey, man. So what's been going on, yo? Matt N says Spake is my go-to. I don't know what you mean by go-to, but maybe just as you mean like she's super clutch. Yeah, I get it, man. She is. She's cute. She's really good at what she does. She's very talented. Very talented reporter. Oh, I meant to go the other way with that. Sorry. Meant to go the other way with that. She's great at what she does. She's a great reporter. D Lucky says, everybody take a drink. Oh, shit. Okay. D Lucky, I'm going to do this, bro, but I don't want to do this. I don't need to be drinking a whole lot more. I'm going to drink some Old Soul right now. Oh, shit. That might have been poured out a little too fast there. All right, guys. This is going to be my last drink of the night. Sorry, Spake. Don't take anything wrong. Don't take anything personal with it. This is for my man. This from my man, D Lucky. Shit, I don't know if I should drink this, D Lucky. I don't need this. All right, I got it, bro. All right, there it goes. There you go, D Lucky. I don't understand what this means. I want you guys to kind of help me break this down real quick. So Alpha Tiger says, hey, Cordy, can you listen to this one? I'm trying to understand what Alpha Tiger's talking about here. You ready? He says, I would part Shannon Spake like the Red Sea and let her call me Moses. Like, what do you take from that? She seems a little unsure of what you're shooting for there, Alpha Tiger. I don't know. AU Taxman says we forgot to mention Erin Andrews. Administrative assistant is she is herself not a big fan of Erin Andrews. I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak for you, unduly, administrative assistant, but you thought that the lawsuit that Erin Andrews brought was a little bit specious. Is that fair? She thought it was possibly illegitimate. BP4AU says, Dear Lord, I sometimes get hammered and completely regret the dumb shit I say, but I feel better about myself after tonight. I don't even know what that means. The whole Erin Andrews thing really kind of, my wife and I were kind of on the same page with that one. Like, it's bullshit that the guy was like peeping Tom in her. It's I'm not saying that's cool, but the fact that she got like $55 million out of it, like, come on, man. Really? I don't know. That seemed a little bit too much for me.
Wrap it up.
Stupup says CBF's golf chick has sweater bombs for days. I don't even know what that means. I would assume that you're talking about Shannon Spake. She's I don't know if you know this, but she's a sportscaster. Alpha Tiger. I don't know what that means. He says Erin Andrews will always have a seat on my face. Do you mean that, like, You think a lot of her, and you would listen to anything she had to say? I don't know. Vance, me in the house. This is Happy 4th, my friends. Glad to have you, bro. Canoe Man says, how much did she actually collect? That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. I think the judgment was for $55 million, though. Yeah, I think it was for 55. Was it 55 million? God. And I mean, it was against Marriott too, so like she probably got a lot of that. She asked for 75, only got 55 million. Canoe Man is asking that we look up Jenny Dell. I don't know who that is, but we're going to take a look. She took photos with jurors and signed autographs afterward. Great. It sounds like she was really... Oh, my goodness. That girl's really hot. I've looked at this Jenny Dell girl. Oh, she's very short, but she's also extremely hot. Good call, bro. Oh, my goodness. Wow. She's very lovely. I'm trying to find the right picture of her. Good for you, man. That's a good... I don't even know who this chick is. Hold on. I got to find a spot here. We're definitely gonna show folks who Jenny Dell is. I don't even know who that is. Does she cover? She must cover sports up in the Northeast or somewhere. I don't. It's not somewhere. Who's that? Jenny Dell. Did you see a picture of her? Is she cute though? She's cute. I'm looking for her. Hold on. Oh, I got her. Let me get this picture pulled up here. Hold on. Man, that's a great call, bro. I don't even know who that is. I've never heard of her before. She's cute, though. Wow, she must be really good at her job. She must cover the Red Sox like a friggin' blanket. She covers the NFL? Well, the picture I've got here is that she's covering the Red Sox, Cordy. Oh, snap. Call Me Biscuit says, thanks for the July 4th show, JGT. Yeah, I mean, I knew we weren't going to have a lot of people watching, but the people that we were going to have watching were going to be absolute badasses from top to bottom, and that's exactly what we've seen.
This thing's about to wrap up.
Canoe Man says complete smoke show in person. Who are you talking about? Oh, he's talking about this girl right here, this Jenny chick. I have stood right where Jenny is right now. Cordy, if you remember that, we went to Fenway Park. We got the tour too. Wow, she's cute. I'm sure she's really good on the air, too. It's a skill.
Good night, Jay.
Canoe Man says she used to cover the Sox. She covers the NFL now. Sorry, guys. You know I love you. Soup Up says, look up Amanda I don't even know how to say that name. Bolognius? Of course I will. This is what we do late in the game. Oh, she's a golfer. She appears to be a golf enthusiast. She's cute. Good call. Oh, shit. She's really tall, too. Well, she's not that tall. Oh, my goodness. You guys are going to like her. Hold on. I got to get this picture out to y'all. This is the girl that Stoop Up mentioned. Hold on, guys. You got to kind of work with me here. Oh, shit. You guys kind of have to work with me here because I've been drinking a little bit. And D Lucky is the reason, man. I was fine until that last shot there. Courtney, I feel like things are kind of wobbling on me a little bit here. Hold on, there's a chick that Stu Pup mentioned. Oh yeah, she's really cute. Wait, what? Wow, look, she's cute. Good job, Stu Pup. That's a good, I don't even know who that chick is, but she's cute. AU Taxman says he's a Tracy Wolfson fan. No, we're not gonna do that. What? I don't understand what it means. It says puppies in golf. What puppies is she talking about? Like, is she talking about? Hey man, my dog is licking those staves, you guys. They taste good, don't they? They do. They taste like beef jerky, so it makes you want to like eat them. All right, guys. I guess we're gonna wrap it up. Shit, I hate it. I hate it, man. Absolutely hate it. That girl's really, really cute, though. Damn, good call, y'all. Y'all really know, she's really good. She's good at what she does. Alpha Tiger says I'd last about 3 seconds on that ride. Cordy, what do you think about? What does that mean? Does that mean like maybe his back hurts or something like that? Call Me Biscuits is Jenny Dell. Oh shit! I need to pull that picture back up for Jenny. Says we'll be closing every show. Jenny Dell picture will be closing every show with Jill Arrington. She is hot. Yes, she is. She is. I still think Jill Arrington's hot, but I mean it's no disrespect to say that somebody's. I mean, Jill Arrington's like the gold standard, I think. Anyway, guys, I'm probably going to wrap it up there. We actually somehow, I don't know how we did this, but we made it 3 hours tonight. I didn't think we were going to go 2 hours. Because I was like, it's July 4th. Everybody's going to be like doing their own July 4th shit. And I'm going to be drunk. And how the hell we're going to make it 3 hours? But we somehow made it 3 hours. So... Canoe Man says Tracy Wolfson is also someone that looks better in person like Jenny Dell. Wait, what? Jenny Dell looks hot like any picture. Like yeah. That girl's cute. Come on, guys. Seriously? Are there people out there who are not sure about her? Because she's really, really hot. I love the Red Sox. No, I don't really, but... All right, we're going to wrap it up there. Seriously, we made it 3 hours. I don't know how we did it, but we did it. Yeah. I don't know how we did it, but we did it. One way or another. Because I love you guys. And you guys are here, man. I mean, I appreciate y'all. Hold on. I want to give a shout out to all of our super chatters who are absolute beasts, all of them. Canoe Man, Alpha Tiger, Flying Around, Hornacious, who's a total badass, by the way. Thank you, Canoe Man, of course, for doing it more than once. Raven, Matt N, and D Lucky. Let's see. Canoe Man says, I promise you Jenny Dell looks even better in person. I want to tell you guys something. Did I tell you the Rachel Nichols story? I'll tell you guys. I can tell you guys some other time. Because Canoe Man or Call Me Biscuit will remember this. So we'll talk about Rachel Nichols next time. Seriously. But Stu Pup says Jill Arrington circa 2001 is the GOAT of all time. Hottest girl I ever saw in my life, face to face. Super, super hot. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Love you guys. Appreciate all our super chatters. All of you guys who have been part of our chat. Love you guys as well. I don't even want to tell you guys to have a safe July 4th because, I mean, frick, it's like 10 o'clock in the Central Time Zone, 11:13 in the Eastern Time Zone. So you guys, it's pretty much over. But, I mean, you know, you guys have been safe. I know that because you guys have been part of the show. Stu Pup 74 says, thanks, JGT. Appreciate you, bro. You're always here for us, man. Stu Pup, seriously. Like every single show we do, you're always here for us, bro. And we appreciate that. We'll wrap it up there. Next week we will have the new computer. Although I don't know if it'll make a difference on this show, but it will definitely make a difference on the G-Pit show. And I probably need to find something to eat a little bit because you guys, D-Lucky, and some of you guys who made me drink when I wasn't really going to drink. You guys tore me up. But I'm happy to do it. This Jenny Dell chick, she's done well for her. She's done well. All right, administrative assistant says I need to get off the air. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all being here on July 4th. I know that there's a lot of shit going on, but I mean, I'm here for you guys, and you guys are here, so I love you guys. Hope you guys have a great final hour or two of the 4th, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching for the stars. Peace.